What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Spawn Point Podcast. 19, almost up to the 20 mark, but one more to go before we hit there. So I'm Jason, as always, here with Cam. What's up, bud?
Oh, great. I shouldn't even ask how you doing. You said, "Sup." I'm doing just fine. What's up with you, bitch?
I'm good, man.
Jesus Christ. Aggressive. I'm starting aggressive as hell.
Well, I think I'm a little hyped up still from that F1 race.
Yeah, we both watched it. It was quite a spectacle.
Holy shit!
Your driver fucking his engine, his power unit fucked right at the.
Right off the line. I was like, Max is not going anywhere. I'm like, nope, he's out. Yikes. And then he got going, and I'm like thinking, you know, they just got done talking about how there is a strategy at Monaco that you pit on the first lap, and then undercut the rest of the race by all the other drivers having to come in. So I'm like, maybe they'll try that. And then he got on the radio and he's like, what do I do? And they're like, just bring it in. And I'm like, no. But it turned out it was a lot more than just a false start. The only thing getting his car back to the pits was his battery. His engine was out.
Toast.
So
damn,
but yeah, just
sucks.
A lot of crazy stuff happening there. I haven't seen that many penalties in a single race and probably ever.
Yeah, it was the first race I watched. It was interesting. I mean, Monaco is such a weird track. It's not a passer friendly track. It's all about race strategy and stuff. So it's much different, but it was still fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
It can still be a spectacle. It's not my favorite race of the year, but this definitely turned out more interesting than I thought it was going to. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of race strategy and like driver and like racecraft that you have to know in that track, and Kimi just shit on everybody all day. It wasn't even close.
44-second lead, and then fucking red flagged it and had to restart. And Kimi's, he's gotten a lot better, but he's not been the greatest off the line starter.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, you got Hamilton right behind him in a Ferrari that is so far this season been the fastest car off the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh boy, what's gonna happen? But Kimi held on and got the win.
I'm glad he did, because that would have been really shitty if he had a shit second start and lost the race because of it after leading for so goddamn long. But
for the entire race,
he pulled it off.
So
very, very impressive.
Yeah,
that's F1.
That's our F1 talk for this segment.
Probably come up throughout the episode. Okay, so
I'm sure probably will.
Episode 19, guys. We are implementing a few changes, so I just want to let you guys know what's going on with that before we dive into it. I don't want this intro to be super long, but I at least want you guys to know what's going on. So, Jason and I have discussed this, and I've watched our podcast back, and I think that we do best when we riff a little bit. So, in our intros, and then in particular on the outros, when we are trying to end the show and we're done with our flow chart that we devised, we just start riffing, and that's kind of like where our best content comes from. And I don't want everybody to have to wait 2.5 hours for us to actually start having a fun conversation. So I wanted to restructure that and get some of that chaotic energy moved actually into the main podcast. So what we've decided to do, the first segment will remain the same. We still have games we played that we want to talk about, so that's going to be exactly the same as it's always been. However, we've pretty much axed to the news section. So the news section is now going to be kind of like a, for lack of a better word, I guess shop talk or whatever. I don't know. It's just us bullshitting about whatever's going on in the industry. So it's still going to be somewhat related to news. However, it's not put into a very linear structure that we were originally doing, because we want to be able to have the flexibility to go off on tangents and just let the conversation drive itself, and then we can kind of refocus it back on something else later on. So it's just going to be a little looser, and I think that's going to fit our style a little bit better. And also, it'll make our show a little different than every other show that has just a regular news section. So that's our objective with the second segment. We're trying it out this week. I think it'll be better, but it's something we're going to be working through. So just bear with us. Bear with us on that, but I think it'll be fun. We got a lot. I mean, if I'm being honest, doing a format switch this week, not great. I mean,
best week.
we got to go over June game releases. That was one thing that when we posted this in our Discord, which we'll get to in housekeeping, that was one thing people liked and wanted us to remain doing. So we're still going to rip through those and probably not spend nearly as much time on them as we have in the past, but That's going to remain the same. And then, of course, we had PlayStation State of Play. We had Summer Games Fest. We have the 1-year anniversary of the Switch 2. And there's just a lot of shit going on. So it's going to be a little bit more chaotic, but I think it'll be more fun for you guys, hopefully. Yeah. It'll be more fun for us, I think, as well. So that's why we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways.
And just to expand on that just a tad, it's not like we're not going to talk about news. I just think it's going to come up in a more natural format. There's a couple things I do want to touch on, and we'll just, instead of like reading off a news article, like we've got the bullet points, we're going to just kind of talk about our thoughts. I think one of the biggest reasons for this switch is to have a more genuine conversation and have our thoughts on this stuff instead of reading someone else's thoughts and then explaining what we think. So
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing, like also, here's a little background of our show, and Jason can stop me if I'm being out of line, but Jason and I, when we started this podcast, we were coworkers, we were buddies, but we didn't talk a whole lot. So we basically had a very strong structure that I created, thinking that, that would help guide our conversations. But now that we've done this for 20 episodes, we've built the chemistry that we need to, and we're able to riff off of each other, and I'm confident in that. So I don't want all that structure. And I really feel like that structure was limiting us. So that's why ultimately we decided to just throw it out the window.
It went the other direction. It did kind of help us develop our back and forth. But now that we've kind of got that, we can kind of start shying away from that stuff and just get some more real, raw thoughts.
Yep. I think it'll be good. So just bear with us on that. Let us know what you think of the changes. Of course, we are always looking for feedback. So
yeah, for sure.
We're going to keep adjusting.
Let us know.
Well, I don't think you're going to hate it. It should be better, hopefully. So,
just saying, if you do, let us know, but I don't think you will.
Yeah, if you do. Before the traditional housekeeping section, we got some shout outs to make as well. Big content week for us this week. We're here at Spawn Point Network, up to 95 subs. Big jump this week again. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you followed, that means the world to us on whatever platform you watch on or listen to us on. Again, YouTube's the main platform, but any platform, YouTube, TikTok, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all those. You can do all that there. Anyways, on the YouTube, Chauncey, Alex Chris 3999, Sal's Bones in there again, Power Down, Rohuff Gaming, aka Lee 1576, MJ Kips, King Jack R4U, Antonio White 9281, and Mighty Mr. Sir all left comments. So thank you guys for leaving those comments down below. We did reply to you on YouTube. That was all on YouTube. And then TikTok, my cousin Lincoln's commented on a short. Hey. So thank you, Lincoln. Stolem was his name. That just misspelled. And Kenny AF on TikTok. Thank you guys again for supporting us on TikTok as well. But yeah, that's it. I guess I'll just finish the housekeeping. Go to our.
I was going to say, it's kind of the housekeeping right there.
Yeah. Go to our Discord, link in the description. That's where our community hangs out, talks about games, movies, TV, F1, food, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. We are always in there, so feel free to chat us up in there. We would really appreciate it. And follow us on all social medias. And we have a very particular thing that we call our email. Jason, what's our email?
It is spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
What?
That is spawnpointnetwork@outlook.com.
You're goddamn right it is. If you have anything you want to send us there, feel free to do so. And obviously anything related to the show, we've gotten review codes in there. So whatever you need to do, if you want to get a hold of us.
Though, it's been a little empty. It has been. We can definitely take some emails.
Yeah, absolutely. We could. But yeah, that's there if you guys want to get a hold of us there as well. If you want to do it discreetly or whatever it may be. Other than that, that is it. That takes care of the housekeeping. I've talked too much. So Jason, we're going to start it off with you. Yeah.
Oh, are we?
We're starting off with you. Jason's covering a brand new release.
Yes, I am. This the game I'm talking about first up is Mina the Hollower.
Yes, sir.
This is a brand new kind of action-adventure indie game developed by Yacht Club Games, famously known for their Shovel Knight series. And this is the first time they're doing something a little bit different. They've gone away from the whole Shovel Knight kind of side-scrolling format and have developed more of a kind of isometric Link to the Past style game in the kind of Game Boy Color aesthetic. So kind of more 8-bit. I've always been a a big fan of like the 16-bit like pixel art. This is a little bit
Yep.
more 8-bit.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I don't love
Ooh,
the look.
okay.
I It's just it's the color palette, man.
Yeah.
I hate to come right out the gate with like, something but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just in a more 16-bit style, I just think it could look a little bit better, but yeah. So very very nostalgic, that top-down perspective, that kind of Link to the Past look and feel. Although Link to the Past was 16-bit, so you do kind of see the slight difference in pixel art and look in this than you do over like a Super Nintendo style game, because Super Nintendo was 16-bit. So anyway, that's too much about that. So you play as Mina, who is a hollower. She is able to burrow under the ground. It basically just that kind of comes into the combat. You can avoid attacks by burrowing under the ground, and popping up behind enemies. A lot of enemies hold shields and things like that, so you can kind of get behind them and get a few of your shots out. So she's also like an inventor, and she invented like an energy source. So around this world, she was the one that came up with the way to power, you know, all these lands and stuff. So it's kind of like a generator of sorts. And so she invents this. All these different regions use this power source, and then something happens, and these power sources are basically shutting down. They're going dark. So this main lord guy of this one region asks for your help again to come back and figure out why these things are shutting down. So you're basically brought back to this land. I mean, you live in this land, but you kind of just do your own thing. But now you're back to exploring and running around and trying to figure out what has happened with this land. And it has a very kind of almost gothic like theme to it. Not that it's like horror, but a lot of like kind of dark, monsters and crypts and that kind of stuff. A lot of secrets. Very, I've mentioned it already multiple times, but very reminiscent of like a Link to the Past Zelda style. However, the combat itself is a little bit tougher than anything that the Zelda games have done in the past. Enemies really do pack a punch. Bosses are pretty tough. People have kind of compared this to almost like a Souls-like style combat system, which I get, but I don't at the same time. I think maybe they're just kind of referring to the difficulty,
Mhm.
possibly of that, which it definitely can be difficult. And the the only thing I don't love about the combat, I'm not as high. So this game has kind of been the talk of the town
Mhm.
recently.
It has.
People are just praising the hell out of this game, and I do enjoy it, and I do see where they're coming from. There's just some things in it that kind of hold me back from really thinking that this is just the next evolution. It's not really an evolution. It's like a de-evolution, but with more modern gameplay elements. And
Right.
some of it works, and I feel like some of it doesn't. If you're gonna have harder combat, with the enemies and the bosses and stuff, the Mina can only attack in four directions: up, down, left, and right. Which, if the game wasn't as challenging as it was, probably wouldn't be as big a deal. But you really have to like be on your toes. I mean, even just random monsters running around can be a problem if you're not careful. So, you just have to make sure you're either lining yourself up, above or underneath them, or to the left or to the right of them. Um, but the thing that kind of frustrates me about this is the enemies can attack at an angle.
Mhm.
So like there's bosses and stuff that come at you from an angle and can hit you, and you can't do that. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting choice.
Mhm.
And you got to think about that when you're fighting these people too, because it's like, if an enemy were to see you at an angle, they would think, oh, I'm safe. They can't hit me, but I can be hit, from that angle. So I just thought that was a weird kind of, I don't know, choice. It was definitely a choice. And, Cam and I were talking about this, he played the demo. We both played the demo of this. And, we were both like, I wonder if that 4-directional combat has to do with the weapon itself. It doesn't. Every weapon kind of has that 4-directional attack. So yeah, but the burrowing mechanic is really cool. There is a ton of secrets and hidden collectibles in this game. Like every panel. So it is set like in an open world. But it's all kind of panel based. So you like go through like this one area and then you just kind of walk through a path and it just kind of the whole screen moves over to the next panel and then you explore that. You can go up, explore that panel. So it is open, but it's not like a seamless transition as you're walking through this world. So, but I swear to God, every panel that you go into, if you look close enough, there's something that you could find. There might just be this little crack in this wall and you can burrow underneath it. And then it opens up to this whole nother, sometimes it's just a single room with some stuff in it. Sometimes you fall into like a cave system by doing that. And it's just like, it's just, there's so much here. And one of the other things I don't love about it is there's no map at all. So there's nothing. Like you can't even so there is kind of a map, but it literally just zooms all the way out to like the whole region. And it's not like you can see paths or anything. It's literally like, this is where this castle is, and this is where this castle is. And that's it. Like I got lost a lot in this game, and it kind of wants you to do that, I guess. Like it kind of wants you to just explore and find your way around. But like, I got to certain areas and I'm like, oh God, I need a key for this door. I know I need to get in here. So then I'm like, where did I see that key? Or like, where was that shop with that key? It's like, dude, I have no idea. It is like back in some village that I don't even remember how to get back to. So that kind of stuff kind of irked me a little. But yeah, you can start with a choice of 3 different weapons. You got like this chain whip thing, which is what I've mainly used the whole time. There is like a dual dagger system, a little bit faster, not quite as powerful. And then there is a hammer, which is the most powerful weapon, but also the slowest. And you can build up like a charge attack with it and really take out enemies that way. But it's really slow. Like even charging this thing up, like everything moves really fast. So you charge this hammer up, and by the time you get it fully charged, you're already getting hit by enemies. So yeah, it's fine. A lot like, well, actually more unlike Zelda. Zelda always had like it wasn't really an RPG. You were able to progress by like getting new items and things like that. This does have like a little bit more of an RPG system. You collect bones and bone fragments and bone chips, and you use those to level up your attack, your defense, your there's 3 things I don't remember. Yeah, attack, power, defense, and speed. That's what it was.
Gotcha.
So you use those bones to level this thing up. Now you can lose all your bones, kind of in a Souls-like fashion. If you get killed, you go back to the last place that you were. So she can burrow down into these underground areas, and they're scattered pretty frequently around this open area. And you go into this underground pit, and that is where your upgrade machine is down there. There is a chest down there where you can store other weapons. There is a bone converter where you can basically you find these like big gems, and you can basically break them down and turn them into components to also level up. So all that stuff is down underground. So anytime you die, you go back to the last one of those that you visited. So even if you're running around this open area and you don't necessarily need to level up, you don't need to change your weapon, it's best to just pop down there for a second and then pop back up, because that is like your last checkpoint or save point. So anytime you die, you go back to the last one that you visited. So, and then if you don't make it back to the place where you died and pick up the stuff that you dropped, you lose them all for good. So, yeah. There's all your traditional trinkets and stuff like that you pick up that can, they're all just kind of passive, abilities and perks. Slightly faster attack speed. There is, there's a ton. There's a whole screen that just when you open that up, all these open boxes you see with this stuff, and I've only gotten, I think, maybe 3 total. So I think I'm 8 hours into this the last time I checked. So
played it more than since we talked. So
yes, I did kind of, had a little hump. I was kind of struggling to get over, and I did get over that, and did end up playing it a little bit more. But to be honest, a lot of that just had to come down to, like, I wanted to have a little bit more to say about this. But since I've kind of recorded this and, for this episode, I haven't really gone back to it. So yeah, it's just, I'm just not quite as high on it as everyone else seems to be. I mean, it plays fine. You'd think this would be my kind of thing. I'm a big Zelda fan. But honestly, part of it probably has to do with the look. I'm just not like super loving the look of it. But that's me. That's a preference thing.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. No, that's totally cool.
Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about Mina the Hollower.
Yeah, I mean, I do like this dev because they are making some unique stuff, and I'm happy that this game is doing pretty well with the community from what it seems. But one of the big things that drove me kind of crazy, along with the 4-directional attacking in the demo, was it would be really nice in this game to just have a button you could press to burrow immediately instead of having to jump and then burrow.
I forgot about that.
You know what I mean? Like that. That's one of the most annoying things. It just doesn't feel good. It feels very unintuitive. So like when you actually want to make an evasive maneuver, you have to also plan that jump timing.
You do.
And which is really, it's almost frustrating in a lot of ways, because if there was just an easy burrow button or a quick burrow button, it would make the combat certainly feel a little bit better, because you'd be able to more reliably dodge those circular attacks that the enemies tend to use in this game that you can't use. So I feel like that would be a good compromise to have here, but it's out. That's not going to happen. So seems like an odd choice. It really does.
It was, and I meant to mention that because that does come up a lot. Like you'll see a guy winding up a swing, and it's coming, and if you could just pop underground for a second and avoid it, but nope, she has to jump in the air and basically then use her momentum to then burrow under the ground. And in that animation, you can get hit, and then she doesn't burrow.
Yep. And I mean, I noticed that with the demo boss. I was like, man, I really wish I could just, which, it makes sense why they would have her have to get momentum to dive. And it's tied to the same button, right? You have to hold the jump button to burrow.
Same button. Yeah. Just hold the button. So yeah, they call it both the burrow and the jump button. And if you just hold it instead of tapping it, she will jump up and then burrow under the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is all tied together.
Yeah, but then you also build ramping.
Odd choice.
It is an odd choice. And you also build ramping speed underground as well. So you have to use that to clear long gaps and things, which is also kind of odd, because you have to time where you jump out of the ground to clear the thing. And it's really kind of hard to tell if you have the right speed based on the way that the game structures it. So yeah, there's a lot of things I think that are, you can definitely critique here. So
yeah. And so like she's got a normal jump. When she doesn't burrow, you can just tap the button. She jumps. Her normal jump can clear 1 tile.
Okay.
So everything you can kind of see is laid out in just multiple tiles all kind of pushed against each other. When she jumps her normal jump, she can clear 1 tile. So if you see like a gap and it doesn't look any wider than what 1 tile would be, she can clear that. If you see something that's 2 tiles wide, you need to burrow, and then when she pops out of her burrow, she can clear 2 tiles. So anything more than that, you literally can't, unless down the road there's some perk or something that allows her to jump more. I will also say it does have a pretty nice set of accessibility options in here. So if you just want to enjoy this game for like the story and maybe get a little bit more out of the combat, there is a ton of things that you can tweak. You know, you can set to she only takes half damage, what she normally does. You can set things to, you know, the bosses have, you know, slightly less health. There's all kinds of that stuff. There's a higher jump, you know, button that really does kind of take away from the point of how the world is laid out. But, you know, if you're like, oh, I know I got to come back here later with something else to clear this jump, you can turn that on and just jump over it and get there whenever you want. It does deactivate there's achievements in this, which they call feats. And as soon as you turn any one of those things on, it gives you this warning, like, this will deactivate all the feats, which if you care about that stuff, then don't do that. If you don't, then play the game how you want to play it. You just won't get those pop-ups of different things that you've cleared. So it is nice, you know, that they add that kind of stuff in. Sometimes these hard games just don't do that. The developers intended it for it to be this difficult, so that's in there if you want to change those things. So
I think we talk about the question that you took out of this episode right now,
I
because
guess,
clearly this is where it was inspired. So I think we should cover
100%.
it. So Jason put a question in. I'm going to let you answer it first because, I mean, this was your question, but I'm stealing it. Fuck you, dude. How do you feel? Yeah. How do you feel about people playing games on easy mode? Do you think that's well, I guess maybe you should ask it because I'm fucking it up. So go ahead.
All I said in the question was, like, is it okay to use, you know, accessibility options that the developers put into these games for you to get more enjoyment out of it? And I think it's totally fine. I think a video game should be played the way you want to play it. You know, there are a lot of hardcore gamers out there that will be like, absolutely not, play it the way the developer intended to. And I can also see where they're coming from. I mean, it was developed in a way to have challenge. It's just that maybe not everyone wants that challenge, but does want to enjoy this type of game. So I really don't care. And I played this without any of that stuff on for the longest time. And I just wasn't making the progress that I was hoping to be able to talk about this more. So yeah, I turned on some of those things just to, you know, get a little bit farther in the game. Don't really care about the feats. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to finish this. So I figured, what the hell? I want to see a little bit more of this game. So I just a couple of them that I turned on. I mean, you could turn them all on and basically never get hurt or anything. Fall damage doesn't exist. I mean, it gets pretty far. And I was like, well, I still like a little bit of a challenge. So I just turned on a couple of those things. Don't care. No shame.
No, I don't. I agree with you 100%. I think you should there should be no shame in turning the game and playing it on easy if that's what you need to do to get through the game. You should enjoy the experience however best you enjoy it. And the reason that there's such there's a stigma behind behind this is that these companies, Xbox, PlayStation, they've added, like, you know, achievements and trophies and things like that. And people, I think, honestly, they're fun to pop. You get a little dopamine pump from those, but at the same time, it kind of ruins players' ability to just play the game because they want to go after. They don't like to be locked out of the trophies. But here's the thing, right? Trophies, the amount of trophies that I have, or the amount of Xbox, your achievement score and shit, that no one gives a fuck about that except you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not it's not a competition. So, like, play games how you want to, and don't feel bad for playing shit on easy or playing shit on medium or whatever. I mean, you have to figure it out. And honestly, like I said, there's a lot of times where I've experienced, like, gaming burnout or more accurately drain out, and that's just because I'm not allowing myself to have fun, and I'm trying to satisfy an ego of mine that has no purpose to exist. So
I'm so with you there.
Yeah. So, like, there should be absolutely no shame. And Jason and I are advocates for people that don't play games to play games. And if you have to play a game on easy or whatever, There's no shame in that. We are all for playing these things, and if you have to do it on easy, dude, fuck, who cares? You don't have to tell anybody you played it on easy if you're really about the stigma. But play games how you want to, and that's we vouch for that almost every episode.
All the time, yeah. And a big thing for me too is it's not that I couldn't beat this or play this just how it is. A lot of it comes down to time.
Yeah.
Like time constraints. Like
sure.
I don't have infinite time to play these games, and if I can see more of the game before I get burnt out and don't even want to play it anymore, I'm gonna change some of those settings so that I can see more of the game
100%.
in the limited time that I have to play these games. So,
and this ties into something else I've been thinking about lately. Maybe it's not the right time. You know, fuck it. This is a tangent-filled episode.
Yep.
I think side quests ruin games for me. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because
elaborate.
I talk almost all the time about me not liking open world games. And the reason I've come to is that I can't let a side quest pass me by. I can't do it.
Yep.
I can't
either.
do it. So I have to work on that a little bit so I can actually play this shit, because there are games where side quests are very important. The Witcher 3 is a great example.
Witcher 3 has some better side quests than main quests.
Right. However, there's also games where the side quests are unimportant and they ruin the pacing and things like that. But my OCD won't allow me to do it. The thing I have to remember when I get in this situation is that I can always go back, right? So let's just say I beat a game and I skip a lot of the side content, but I really enjoy the story. I can always play it again and go back and revisit that shit if I want to. But I just hate the fact that I'm like constraining myself to really linear games, and it's simply, I think, to avoid the paralysis of all of the shit on the screen that the game wants me to do that I don't want to do because I can't put it behind me. So I don't know.
Are you talking about Ubisoft games there with a map?
Ubisoft is notorious for it, but there's a ton of shit. I mean,
there's a lot more than that.
Even the original Infamous, I'm like having problems with fucking these side quests, which are terrible in the original Infamous, by the way. But I can't even pass those up, and I'm like, dude, I just gotta fucking come on, man. We don't need to do this. Anyways. Right. It's kind of off topic, but I think that's one of my big trouble points.
Yeah, and for me, I am the exact same way. I do not want to let a side quest go. But sometimes it depends on the game. If I'm just really in Witcher 3, great example. I mean, I didn't want to stop playing The Witcher 3. So the more content that I would find, the more I was like, cool, more stuff to do. But if it's a game that I'm like, this is pretty cool, I think the story is okay, but the side quests kind of suck, I have gotten better at letting myself let those go over time. But it all depends on the game and how much I'm enjoying what it has. So there's that aspect of it too. And also side quests, just like I talked about with difficulty options, can add a lot more time to a game. And if you want to just get through something, it's just like, dude, there's so much content. Not that too much content's a bad thing, but sometimes, like Cam said, some of those side quests they do kind of bog things down. So
I mean, they do.
We're in the same boat. That OCD steps in, and you're like, I don't want to let this go.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, there's a FOMO element to it, which is terrible. Also, like there might be a weapon there or something cool that you can use. Then you might miss out on if you don't go there. So you got to it runs through your head, and you're like, I got to do it. Oh, there might be a trophy tied to this, which I don't give two fucks about them. But at the same time, I find myself like justifying it, like, oh, maybe if I do this, I can get a little dopamine hit from my trophy popping, which is fucking stupid. But like, I still have that thought in my head. So I don't know. It's hard to break. I'm having a hard time breaking it.
Yeah. And this is where I feel like, I've mentioned that, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are my favorite games. And they do those kind of things so well. Just the exploration part of it. Like it's not even side quests. It's just like, go see what's in this place. It could be another cool weapon, a cool armor set. I liked the way that game kind of let you play it the way you wanted to play it. If you don't want to get any of that stuff, no problem. It's not tied to a side quest. It's not tied to anything. You can mainline the story and have just as much fun. I just liked that other stuff was in there. So I don't know. Another kind of side tangent, but
I don't know either. I just
I'm
trying to. I'm in a war internally, trying to not force myself to only play linear games, and I'm trying to find the reasons. And I think it's just because I do have a completionist mindset that I need to get rid of.
Yep.
So,
well, I don't know if you need to get rid of it. It's just kind of how you like to play games. I like playing games my own way. If a developer is giving me these options, and I feel like I'm doing something that maybe they didn't intend, I don't know. I take a little bit of joy in that. So
yeah,
but that's me.
Anyway, back to me to the Hollow. Yeah, the omnidirectional attacking. Do you think maybe later game, have you gotten any weapons in the 10 hours since, or has it still just been the starter 3?
It's been the 3. It's been the starter 3. So I have heard that there are other things, but I couldn't tell you if things, even here's another thing. Like, I get the the 4-direction attack, but what if like your whip thing, you could spin it around?
Yeah, seems easy. You hold the attack button and spin.
A special attack and spin.
Oh, yeah,
and swing it around like it's a whip.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't understand why that couldn't have been implemented.
I don't either.
Even the hammer. Yeah. Swing the hammer around.
Or,
I don't know.
So if you look at Link to the Past, which is what we've talked about a few times talk about this.
Point.
It sweeps. So it basically hits the front 3 tiles in front of your character. So it sweeps. There's no excuse for, if you slam the hammer down, it shouldn't just hit like having a ripple to the other 2 tiles.
Yep.
Same thing with the whip. You could have easily just done a sweep, and that would have alleviated a lot of the cumbersomeness of the combat. And some people are going to like this combat. We just don't. And like I said,
clearly they have. This game is reviewed super well. People are absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, like, this is personal preference type of thing. Jason and I both struggle with this in particular, but that doesn't mean that we're right. We're not IGN. We're just giving our opinion. But yeah,
it's my thoughts.
It seems like an obvious thing that they could have done. They obviously chose not to, and I think the combat suffers for it, just like you said. I really do. I think it could have been better with a little bit tighter controls. And like I said, I mean, having an instant hollow button would be good too, just to help movement a little bit. But
yeah,
is what it is.
But, yeah, that is one of the things that you can turn on where she doesn't, if you hold the button, she doesn't jump. She just goes straight underground. So it's in there. It's so like the developers at least were like, well, maybe people just want to hollow right away. You can do that. Okay. But then like there's options for you just tap it. So there is just a smidge of a delay, but it is much faster than jumping up and then going underground.
Okay.
And then there's a float jump. So like when you jump, you kind of hover in the air a little bit more, and then there's a longer jump. But those you can't have the other thing on, so she has to burrow. After it's super weird. I didn't turn any of those on because it really did feel like the game just changed like in a not great way. So yeah.
Well, sounds like you might not make through it. I think this game's kind of bounced off my want list or priority list, just because, the things that are turning me off are the open map, no map. Getting lost is not my forte. It's not my forte.
And I don't mind it in a game that I feel like when I get lost, I'm still always finding something. I don't always feel that in this.
Damn.
I don't know. So.
Damn. Well.
Anyway, we can jump off this if you want.
Yeah. Well, anyways, check it out if you want to. It is $19.99 on all modern consoles, PC, Switch 1, and Switch 2. And maybe you'll have a different opinion. Like I said, we're the outliers in this discussion. We are kind of
seems like it.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's gaming, baby.
That's totally fine.
That's opinions, dude. All right, moving on from there. I have still been playing my PS3 like an absolute psychopath, so it's finally time to talk about Split Second. What a cool cover art.
Second. Look at that cover. God, I remember having that.
The little yin and yang, black car, white car underneath. Damn, this game's cool. Anyway, Split Second is a really cool game published by Disney. And Disney they published really good racing games in this era, and then they just stopped publishing games. So it's kind of sad, but Split Second is essentially an arcade racing game, but instead of having a nitrous button, which I think is a crime against humanity, you essentially build these segments underneath the HUD there that shows your position and your laps and stuff. And you build that. And what those are used for is to trigger environmental obstacles on the map that you can use to wreck your opponents. Or if you let your bar get full all the way, you can actually do some absolutely crazy things to these tracks, where basically we're going to get to that in a second. Anyway, so there's no nitrous in this game, so it feels very strange to play because there's times where you're like within range. It's like, God, if I just had a button to maybe use a little bit of this meter to catch up, I would feel a lot better. But you can't. You have to play very offensively at all times and try to blow up the environment to take out your rivals, which is a unique gameplay thing. I would have liked nitrous though. It just feels it feels like it's missing here, but it's a very unique game, and it's a game that we just don't see nowadays. So it was fun to revisit and go back to. This is a game I definitely had as a kid, and I didn't finish. And it's for this. It's for the exact same reason I didn't finish Pure as a kid, and I went back and beat Pure last year. Is that these games, for some reason, they just get unbelievably hard, like out of nowhere. They go from like really easy for like the first quarter of the game, and then the difficulty just ramps up to 1,000,000 after that, and you have to be on your shit the entire time. Mm-hmm. And there's not really, I mean, there is difficulty settings. I just played this on medium, and I was struggling. I was fighting for my fucking life every single race after the third episode. So this game is set up in an episodic format where you're basically partaking in a TV show series where you're in this racing league, and you're trying to get enough points to face the best drivers of the season or whatever. And then you have a season finale at the end. And of course, brutal. That whole thing is fucking brutal, but there's 5 events in each episode. So you do those 5 events, and then you have the final event is a race against the best drivers that you're going to race against in every single race in the finale. So those are always much more difficult, but it is a very hard game. You're going to reset a lot because, again, this is all point based. So you have to at least get, well, you get 50 credits for winning, and then progressively lower the lower down that you get. But to unlock everything, you're going to want to try to get first in these as much as possible. So you're going to restart a lot. You're going to end up second, third. You're going to have to restart a lot. And the AI here is not passive. They're very aggressive. Nope. They will blow your ass. They will blow your ass up at any opportunity that you get. So you're never really safe in this game. And they went for that, and it works. I mean, it just is a difficult game to go back to. Well, it's just a difficult game in general. It's a hard hard fucking game. So, I really enjoy it though. I mean, I've played so many racing games that coming back to these as an adult with more racing game experience and things like that, these are fun for me because I do enjoy the challenge. It's a little frustrating at times for sure, but it's still just a lot of fun. And the creativity here is top notch. Like I said, the way that they design these tracks and the way that you can interact with them is very unique, and it's something we still haven't seen really to this day. So they did a really nice job with this. So anyways, back to the environmental mechanics. So with the power bar is segmented into 3 segments. The first and the second segment are just one trigger. So you can use the blue bar, and it'll like shoot a group of taxis on the side of the road across the track, and it'll wipe out anybody that touches the taxis, or it'll blow up a oil tanker, and then the explosion will push the enemies into the wall, and then they'll bust and break and whatever. But that's kind of what you're doing throughout the game. But if you fill the meter up all the way, you can actually do these massive explosions. So the best example that I have is there's a track around an airport, right? So you kind of go from the front of the airport, and then you go through like a bunch of hangars and stuff like that, and then you whip back around to the front. However, if you have full meter, you can actually knock down a watchtower around like one of the corners, and the watchtower falls and crushes the entire like 3/4 of the track. It's not like it crushes a corner and then you got to deviate one corner. It like fucks up 3/4 of the track, and the game is designed to then deviate you. So instead of going down the hangars, you're now going down the runways, and like it's fully designed to be able to be run in all of these different configurations. With that being said, there's only 11 tracks in the game, so it's a tighter roster, but every race kind of feels different because of all of the the route changes that
it's got like branching paths. Yeah.
So it's really unique. It's really fun. It's a cool game. I think it's $10 pre-owned on PS3, 360. So I think it's one worth picking up. And I can't play Forza Horizon 6 yet, so I'm just fucking getting what I can out of here.
So this is what you're resorting to.
but no, I think this game is fun. I'm really glad that I was able to mark it off my backlog, and it was a fun time. It's a really fun time. It is hard though. I mean, there is some. I think there's rubber banding AI here that kind of holds on to you and it's just that's just the way she go. But cool game.
I've been noticing more of that in Forza too. The more I play that, the more I'm starting to see that rubber banding come into play a little bit. But whatever, that's just how those games are designed. But I played the heck out of this on my 360. I really enjoyed this game. I really liked, like you were saying, the destructibility, and then like all of a sudden you're going on a different path. So it just has branching paths off like the main circuit. But it's a tough racing game. Yeah, it's for sure.
Really. Yeah, it is. It goes from like no challenge to like unbelievable challenge, and like after the first hour and a half, you're like getting like smoked all of a sudden. It's like, what the hell?
Am I playing the same game?
Yeah. But Pure was the same way. Like they just have a ramp. They have a ramp and difficulty just out of fucking absolutely nowhere. And you just got to prepare for it. You got to know it's coming, and you just got to deal with it. And ultimately, I do think these games are a lot of fun. I don't even know how long I took to beat this. It was over multiple sessions, but honestly, I think graphically it holds up pretty well. There is some performance issues. It's PS3.
Exactly
what's going to happen.
They can only do so much.
Yeah. So once
how'd you capture this?
My phone.
Yeah.
I got fucking
lazy. It looks good though.
I'm fucking lazy. I could take my capture card and move it, but I was like, nah.
Right.
So
I think for being your phone, I think it looks good.
Yeah, it's all right. Cool. Good thing CapCut can up-res and shit, but
exactly.
I just thought I'd bring this to the table. Like I said, we pride ourselves on covering new and old, so this is old, and I had fun with it. So I thought I would talk about it. And
for sure.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I mean, yeah, it's cool. I don't even think there is a modern way to play this. And what also stinks about this, precursor for next week's shorts, Split Second 2 is in development and got canceled. So that would have been really cool. But
that would have been awesome.
A modern version of this game would be really, really sick.
Oh yeah.
So sad, but
yeah,
it is what it. I don't know.
We need more arcade racers. Like
we really do. We're starting to get some though. I think
we are.
They're starting to kind of trickle back a little bit. But it's a cool game. I feel like I'm just rambling. I don't know. There's not much to say. It's a hard game, but it's unique, and I think it's cool. And you should check it out if you haven't. I don't know how you would.
Definitely should.
But that's Split Second.
Fire up your PS3 or 360.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I think they have emulators for PC now for the 360.
Oh, they do,
60 PS3 days. So you can do it that way too. But you should probably just buy the old consoles because they're still cool.
You probably should.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still are.
Yeah. Moving on.
All right. I got a weird one. This is Jason's weird game of the week, apparently. I had heard about this in the past, and was like, looks cool, whatever. But it went on sale for $2.99. So I'm like, let's give it a shot. This is called Golf Club. What?
It's breaking the bank, bro.
Yeah, totally. Well, and then so there's a follow-up to this game, called The Cub, which is God, it's hard to even describe. It's a follow-up to this game, but a totally different game. It's a side-scrolling action adventure game. And this is a game where you're playing golf. So, like I said, it's called Golf Club Wasteland. The weird thing about this though is if you look for it, it's actually under the title Golf Club Nostalgia. They got like some sort of copyright thing or whatever for the word wasteland. So it's still called Golf Club Wasteland, but if you go to search it, it's gonna pop up under Golf Club Nostalgia.
What the hell?
Super weird, total side point, but just thought I would I would mention that. So the point of this game is in the future, the Earth becomes uninhabitable, and the vast majority of the population dies, and the wealthy have moved to Mars. They have set up on Mars, and that's where the remaining human population currently live. And those ultra rich people take trips back to Earth to play golf. Uh, it's as weird as it sounds. But you're not playing on typical golf courses. You are playing golf through ruins of skyscrapers, of cities, of parks, of zoos. Just it's super weird, but the the gameplay itself is very, very simple. You basically have one button and you use the button in the control stick to aim your shots and get them into the hole. It is kind of like a puzzle game in a way because sometimes you can't quite see a direct path from where you're supposed to hit to where the flag is. Each hole starts out with like kind of a wide shot, and it kind of zooms to where the tee is, and then it zooms to where the hole is first, and then it kind of spans across all the way to where the tee is. And some of them are shorter courses, and some of them are very long, and you just kind of have to work your way through. You have a par system for each hole, and you have that many shots to make it to the hole. Now, it where the puzzle part comes in is, I would say for the most part, on most of the holes, I used my first round essentially to kind of get as far as I could and kind of figure out where I need the ball to go, and then end up running out of shots and then having to start over. But then I would kind of know kind of where I needed to go. Now, there is a story difficulty, which just does away with the amount of shots you have. You have infinite. I did not play that way. I actually liked the trying to figure out how to best approach each one of these holes. Some of these holes took a while, but the game itself, the entire game from beginning to end, is about 3 hours. It's very short, but it's very atmospheric. It just for being a simple looking 2D like side scrolling golf game, the mood is really cool. And one of the biggest things that really helps with that is there is a radio station on Mars called it's what is shit. I wrote it down and now I can't remember. It's basically just like Mars radio, I think. I don't know. But they play these kind of lo-fi, kind of low tempo tunes that just kind of has that like kind of almost eerie sort of feel to them. But the coolest part is the radio DJ, his voice is, I don't know who this voice actor is, but it's amazing. Like just him talking, and he kind of has this low kind of voice, and he's kind of like talking about things that are going on Mars, and then like kind of talking about how they know that you are on Earth right now playing golf, and he's like, I wonder how he's doing down there and all this stuff. And then they have people come on to the radio station and tell stories about their time on Earth before they had to move to Mars, and it's all just super well done. So there's more story here, I feel like, than actual gameplay, but I was totally fine with that. It just does a great job. So you aren't necessarily one of these ultra rich people. You are an astronaut. So you have the ability to go back and visit Earth just because you are one of the few that can actually pilot these ships to go back. So I don't want to spoil anything because if somebody doesn't want to play this, the story is really good, but this guy is like super lonely. Something happened to him in his past, and he's just he wants to go back and play golf solo, and he doesn't care if he ends up dying on Earth. He just was like, he's just in a lonely place and just wants to be isolated and play a round of golf back on Earth. And then this whole time throughout you playing these holes, you see this little character that runs around. Sometimes it's in the background, sometimes it's in the foreground. And, I'd say there's 35 total holes, and that's it. You play the 35 holes, game's over. Throughout, I'd say the first few, you don't notice anything. And then you start seeing little glimpses of this character, and he doesn't really notice him or her, whatever it is, right away. And then he starts noticing this thing, and at certain parts of the game, he sees him and will be like, there's no like voice acting, but he'll like raise his hand up and be like, hey, and like the thing will run away. Oh. So you're starting to be like, what's going on here? There's like something going on, behind the scenes to this game, and it just does it so well. And then at the end, without spoiling it, it just comes very, very good conclusion, and then really does set up a good start for this follow-up game called The Cub. So this character that you're seeing his name is The Cub, and that's who you play as in the follow-up game, which I've also started playing because it was also on sale for $2.99. So it just, and then it actually, once you beat the game, then it tells you the story from the very beginning of the game, like before you started playing golf.
Interesting.
It tells you the whole story in this cool, like cinematic, almost like comic book style thing of like why you're here. And I just thought that was a cool thing. Like I'm praising this game a lot because I really did enjoy it, but it's just not something that I expected. I did not expect this game to, like, I'm still thinking about it. Like now, I just think they do a really good job for being, this is such an indie game, and they just, some of these indie devs, man, the way they tell these stories is just so unique and so interesting. So, so that's it. If you're watching, there's the little cub guy.
Yeah.
He's running away from you, and you don't know what it is for the longest time. You kind of figure it out, but it's really cool, man.
Okay, so I have a couple things. First of all, would you spoil this for me?
Yeah, sure.
Third segment, we're talking about this more. Okay, so if you want spoilers, hang on with us. We'll get to that after we do our thing, because I want to hear about this actually, because I'm very intrigued now. Do you control the character when you are going to the ball?
No. As soon as you hit the ball, it gets to where it lies. Your character automatically either walks, or he's got like a jetpack on his back, and he will just fly right to where the ball is.
Interesting.
Very, very minimal controls.
I actually think the art style is really nice here.
It's really good, man. It's simple, but it's really, and the animation is really good. Like his swings, there's a point about halfway through where he finishes a hole, and then you're used to it just kind of popping up to this screen where it talks about the next hole, and instead he kind of walks to the edge of like this hill and then sits down and then just kind of looks out onto like the landscape of where he used to live and stuff, and just kind of sits there and watches it, and then it kind of fades, and then it goes back to the next hole. It's just, I don't know, it's done really well, I thought.
Yeah, it's really atmospheric. It almost like you can almost feel the weight of like the depression of the character now that you said that, just watching it. You know what I mean? It's like Interesting. All right, I don't want to talk about this too much more other than I think it's cool, and I want to talk about it in full length at the end of the podcast.
You got it.
Because I want to know. Damn it.
Do you want me to even spoil it? I mean, you should play this, man. But you probably won't. I can just tell you about it.
Listen, I based on what you said, I want to play it, but at the same time, like, I could live without this gameplay. So
and even if I do spoil it, and it's still worth playing, I think, because I'm only going to describe what I saw. It's different to like see it and experience it yourself. So.
I guess one more thing to tie into this. What was that game we talked about on break? The damn golf puzzle game that we.
Curse to Golf.
Yeah, I hated that.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I stayed away from this for a while. I didn't mind Curse to Golf, but I did bounce off it, earlier than I thought I would, and I thought this was kind of going to be the same type of thing. It's totally not. I mean, the golf itself is similar in a way. But Curse to Golf was like a roguelite side-scrolling golf game. This is not a roguelite in any fashion whatsoever.
Well, so. I think the problem I had with Curse to Golf was that it was almost too complex. So like you were, if I remember correctly, you were like shooting up elevators, and there was these different elevation changes you were constantly dealing with, and then of course there was a roguelike element tied into it. It's like, holy fuck, dude! Like. So this looks more like a little bit, I guess that's hard to say grounded here because it is, but I mean, at least it's like go from point A to point B and there's not so much shit going on. You know what I mean? Like
there's not in the more complex stuff that is in here is done better, I feel, than in that game. There are you'll hit through a window into an abandoned skyscraper, and then you got to like hit up a floor to the next floor, and then you can't get to the next floor without hitting the ball into an elevator. The elevator automatically takes the ball up to the next floor, and then you hit from there. So there is that kind of stuff in here, but it's just done a lot more seamlessly, I feel, where it's just all ties into like the puzzle part of it, and it's not difficult.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I only played Curse to Golf one time for like a short period, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I bounced off that game quick as fuck. So anyway. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna talk about this more in the third segment because I do want to dive into it more. So stick around for that if you want that, chat. Other than that, let's take a quick breaky poo, and then we're gonna come back with our revamped second segment. So stay tuned.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spawn Point Podcast and our revamped second segment of the show that will get better with time. We're just trying this out. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be fun. Nonetheless,
it will.
We didn't mention at the top and the end of the first segment what else we're playing, so I figured I'll take a second because I am still playing some stuff. I started Stuntman Ignition, and we're going to talk about why that came up a little bit later when we get to the PlayStation State of Play conversation. But that game's hard also. Like I feel like I'm a washed gamer. I can't fucking play games anymore. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but that game is
everything's hard now.
Dude, that game's so hard. Like you have no time to react in that game. It's fucking crazy. But I was super pumped to see Stuntman Hollywood get announced. It was like out of nowhere. I think it's been 20 years since Ignition came out. Just popped out of absolutely nowhere. We'll talk about that more a little bit later, but other than that, I also bought 007 First Light, so you'll see content on that. Yeah, I haven't touched it.
How's that so far?
Haven't touched it. Haven't touched it at all. Bought it. Haven't even. Well, I did turn my PC on because I touched Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Actually, right before he got on, Jason got on, I was playing it. So I don't know. We'll talk about that next week too. So. And then, of course, I said last week I was going to play Cyberpunk, and that's installed. I haven't touched that either.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah, also very interesting. I'm sure I'll get to the same exact point that I have 4 times, and then I'll drop it again. No, I don't know.
Push through, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's a good game.
I know, man, but shit, I get it's choice paralysis. You got to choose like what your background is. Then you got to choose what you want to level up, and all the leveling is kind of weird because it's based on like cool or tech or whatever, and so it's like I don't know what the fuck I want to do.
Just do this. Street Kid, man. I think that's the best one.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Anyway, so we're gonna go through the June releases, and we're gonna do this kind of rapidly.
I can't tell you about what I've been playing.
No, I don't care, bitch.
Oh, fuck off.
No, I'm
man.
just kidding. Go ahead.
I've been playing a little bit of that eFootball kickoff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
26 soccer game. Actually,
yeah, your short looked good. It looked really good from your short.
It's really good. And I've been like, I was like, am I the only one that like actually thinks this is good? But I just looked up some other YouTubers and stuff. They're like, what happened here? This is really good. And everybody's like, I mean, and it is kind of sad that it's a Switch 2 exclusive. Like we had a comment on my short. Somebody asked if, where can I find this? And I'm like, it's a Switch 2 exclusive. So that's kind of a bummer, but I mean, if you got a Switch 2, it's definitely worth it. And it's $19.99.
Yeah, I want to branch on this. Is eFootball PES, or are they different?
Huh? eFootball PES?
You never played PES, like PES soccer, or maybe it's not.
Oh, no, it's different. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. It's different.
Is it though, or did they rebrand? I thought they rebranded. Maybe they rebranded to eFootball.
Okay.
They released. I shit you not. They released an eFootball on PlayStation 5, and it was free to play, and it was a piece of shit.
That's what you said.
I don't know
if this is some sort of continuation of that. I don't know. This is not like there is an online mode in this. You can play online with other players, but the focus here is like single player, football. Like the big the main draw of this is like the World Tour mode, where you start as like kind of a nobody team and you take on like other kind of lower teams, and then after you beat them, you can basically recruit a player into your team, and then you kind of slowly build a stronger and stronger team as you go through. So only played probably maybe 5 or 6 matches. I beat the first 2 teams fairly easily. I did get beat by the third team, and that's fine. I like that about sports games. I don't play a lot of them, but like I'm not one that like if I lose, like when you like sports in general, like they don't win every single game all the time. So if I get beat, I'm like, okay, I got beat. They played better than I did, and I try to play better the next time. So I don't know, just a very, very solid soccer game on the Switch 2.
Oh, yeah.
I also played there was a network test for the new Astroneer kind of side project thing called Star Seeker.
Yep.
Enjoyed, the hour that I put into that. I played it for about an hour, and then I had to do something, and I set it down. And then when I came back, I was logged out. Because it's a network test. It's kind of online. And when I logged back in, I had to basically start from the very beginning. It didn't put me back where I was. And I'm like, okay, I saw an hour of that game. That's all I'm going to see. I'm not doing all that again. But kind of reminded me of like No Man's Sky a little bit. Pretty open. A little bit more easy than Astroneer. Astroneer, like you had to like set up these things and like provide air supply to your suit, and basically it's not really like that. Everything kind of seems to be like all incorporated in your suit, so you can just kind of go out and explore. And I just enjoyed that a bit more. So I think that's about it. That I'm still playing Tales of Arise. I actually jumped back into Mouse PI since I kind of forgot about that one.
I think I meant to bring that up a couple episodes in a row. I forgot.
I played like 3 more levels, and I'm like, dude, I got it, and it just keeps going. So
I find that a negative sometimes, man.
It's starting to feel that way. To be honest, I'm like, I kind of want this game to be over, but I'll finish it eventually.
Maybe you are going to fall into the 7 category. Maybe IGN was right all along. Maybe we're wrong and they're right.
If I do, it's not because of the same things that fucker said was wrong with this game. It'd be other things.
Good point. Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, yeah. We'll
to it.
Talk more games here a little bit. A lot of it. That's what the whole fucking show's about.
A lot of games.
Anywho's, we're going to talk about June releases. Sal's Bones in Discord. Again, join the Discord. I pitched this to everybody in the Discord saying we were reformatting our second segment, asked what you wanted to keep or whatever. And this was one thing that people wanted to have come back. So we're going to do it again. We're going to do it a little different though, because again, I don't want this to have any structure in this segment. I just want it to be us bullshitting, but this is hard to not do structuredly. So I'm going to rip through these. If I have something to say, I'll say something. If I don't, I'll just go silent, and Jason's going to give me a quick yay or a nay, and then we're going to move on. Okay?
Sounds great.
I'm skipping iOS, Android games also, because I don't care about them. Okay? Couple games that have already come out. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is out on the Switch 2 and the Xbox as of June 3rd. Was that really only a PS5 exclusive before?
No.
What the fuck is this then?
Was it really?
This is a Series X and Switch 2 release.
Okay, so maybe whatever. eFootball Kickoff Switch 2 June 4th. Jason's already talked about that. Boom. River City Saga Journey to the West. Saw a little bit about that. It looks interesting. It you know that game Rotwood? It kind of looks like that. Kind of a what do you call that? Like semi-isometric, but kind of a brawler.
I think it's just a brawler.
Yeah, okay. So it's like a brawler.
But a roguelike brawler also,
but
or
River
just
City
a brawler?
Ransom. Well, the past ones, weren't they just more... No, you're right. They were kind of a set up on like kind of a semi 3D plane. So it looks like another one of those. But
the only thing I can think about is Retro City Rampage, which is a fucking GTA 2 clone.
Oh yeah, it's not like that.
No, it's not like that at all.
No, not like that at all. So
River City
anyway,
Ransom,
we're gonna be on here forever if we
beat 'em up.
keep doing this.
No, it's fine. It's a whole segment. Swan Song.
Okay.
No. The Seventh Guest remake. No. Tour de France 26.
No.
Okay. Gothic 1 remake. June 5th.
There's people out there that would think that's cool. Not for me.
Sweet. Good for you guys. Hollow Body PS5 Series XS June 5th.
I'm going to go no because I don't know what that is.
Fair enough. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch 2, PC for Solar Punk.
No.
Nope. Don't know what that is either. God damn it.
Nope.
How about early access? How about NBA The Run? June 9th.
No, I saw like a short clip on this. It's like Street Ball or something, I think.
Is it like kind of like I'm kind of interested in that. I would like a new like street game, street basketball.
Yeah,
I love
it's
NBA
like
Street a lot.
Oh yeah, NBA Street was great.
I don't know. They've redone like the NFL Street, and it was ass. So I don't know if I trust it or not, but we'll see. Oh, maybe you look at it.
Keep an eye on it.
What about Voidling Bound on PC? You definitely don't care about that. June 9th. 33 Immortals, Xbox Series S, PC, June 10th.
Little interest. That got a little bit of hype when that first came out. Is that the one? Yeah, you're basically teamed up with 33 other people.
Yeah, it looks like
it's kind of a boss rush kind of thing. You kind of have to strategize. It looked interesting enough.
It's all right. Crush in Time comes out June 10th on PC. Frog Squad, Xbox Series and PC. This is a co-op, chaos party, whatever they call them, friend slop game, right?
Okay. Nope.
Lost Castle 2, PC, June 11th. Monopoly Star Wars Heroes versus Villains on all modern consoles.
As much as I like Star Wars, I hate Monopoly.
Ooh, hate to see that for him.
Oof.
I don't care about it either.
Not my game.
Nope. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions hits, well, that's also early access, but that's at least a big one. Comes out June 11th for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tales
Keep an eye on that.
Tales of Sekiyu, PC, June 11th.
Nope. Okay. I don't know.
I don't either. To a T, Switch 2 exclusive, June 11th. Any idea what To a T is?
Yes.
Okay.
You play as a boy who is stuck in a T-pose through the whole game. So you just have to try to... I think it's kind of puzzly a little bit. You have to kind of maneuver this world that you live in and being stuck in a T-pose. So just a quirky little puzzle game.
All righty. Unreal 2 back on track, June 11th.
Okay.
Yep. Mole, June 15th. No idea. Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue. Damn it. That's an Android game. Snuck in here. Fucking free publicity.
Talk about that.
Free publicity, motherfuckers.
There you go.
What about And Roger? Switch 2 exclusive or mobile, June 17th.
Don't know what that is.
10-4. Pokemon Champions gets its mobile release. It's on Switch 2. That game is getting murdered. People do not like it.
Nope.
Hashtag Drive Rally, modern consoles, and the original Switch on June 18th. Tell me about it.
This looks cool, man. It is. It's it's a rally game, but very, very stylized in its art style. There was a game called Hashtag Drive. Have you ever played that?
I heard about it. Yeah.
Kind of that same kind of like almost low poly kind of art style. It looks cool, and I'm just in the mood for another rally game, so that's why I'm interested.
Hell yeah!
So
is this isometric or behind the car?
No, it is behind the car.
Okay, perfect, cool. Love that.
Yep.
Thought it might be going more towards the Art of Rally thing. I want to play Art of Rally. I think I played it a little and didn't stick with it, but I feel like I need to play it.
I played it for a little while.
R-Type Tactics 1, 2 Cosmos Space Shooter. I might actually be interested because I'm kind of in the mood for some more space shmups. Okay, for some reason.
More shmups. Yep.
Big one here on June 18th, Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. Comes out on all model consoles. That game looks sick as balls. Nice.
I think that game is going to be my, like, Mina. Like, that kind of, like, top-down. Like, this, I played the demo of this, and it was really good. And they just released another demo where you can play in a different area, and it's a really cool game.
Yeah, so Adventures of Elliot.
Action RPG.
Yeah, it kind of looks... honestly, it looks more like Link... Well, it doesn't look like Link to the Past at all, really. It's got a really nice art style, but it's isometric, and then the combat is action combat as opposed to turn-based and stuff, so it's a really cool thing.
And the world, like, when you think about, like, Link to the Past and everything's kind of static. I mean, it's very beautiful, but, like, the trees, everything, you just kind of move with the screen. It's just, it's basically, like, kind of, but Adventures of Elliot, everything's, like, 3D, like, you go behind these, like, castles and stuff, and it's all, like, it's a beautiful art style. It's
gorgeous. I mean, it literally is, like, the evolution of Link to the Past. Like, if you took it and redid it and it made it look really good, I think that's kind of what that is. So it's like an evolution of that art style, and it looks phenomenal. So definitely check that one out.
Yep.
June 18th. UFC 6 comes out June 19th on consoles, no PC release. I like these games, but they've become so complicated over the last few years that I have kind of fallen off. Very hard to play those now. There's so many fucking inputs and stuff.
Not to go on a little tangent here, but one of my daughter and my favorite things there's like a TikTok page with UFC glitches and stuff. And we're going through like the fences and stuff.
Yeah.
And oh my God, they're so funny.
They are funny. Anyway. No, I love the series. I hate this. I'm a big UFC fan, but I hate that this crushed Fight Night. I wish we could have both worlds, For sure. I wish that we could have Fight Night and UFC going, but... God,
what was that one Fight Night with...
Champion.
What's his name? Oh, God.
Champion with Isaac Frost, the main villain, and God, I just played it last year again. Game is really fucking good. That game is super fucking good. Very good game.
Yep.
I actually just thought about putting that in again because I didn't realize like there's the story mode, but there's also like a creative fighter mode, and you can kind of go through a career with another person and not the story. And I was going to do that because that game really rules, and it looks super good to this day still. Like it's a really solid.
Well, that's cool. That was one of the things I wondered about because I remember when I first played it, I was like, "This looks so good."
No, it holds up great to this day. It looks like a PS4 game. It looks like a PS4 game. It's just really nice. Mazelia, Echoes of the Past, PC, June 19th. Moving right along. Dark Scrolls, Switch PC, June 22nd. I'm seeing a head shake in the corner of my eye. Wander Stop, Switch 2, June, Citizen Sleeper on Switch 2, June 25th. Citizen Sleeper 2, also.
Yeah.
Same day.
They just announced that. So, I don't know. Yeah. It looks cool. I just, it's not really my type of game.
I don't even know what they are, so.
It's hard to even describe what they are.
They're odd. Cool.
Let's move on.
Dead or Alive 6 last round, another fighting game. It's been fucking ages since Dead or Alive 5 came out. It's modern consoles, no Switch and PC, June 25th. And maybe the launch of the month, Star Fox comes out on Switch 2 on June 25th.
Interested? Yep, another remake, but a very competent looking remake. So.
Star Fox 64 for the 4th time.
Oh shit.
With odd character models, just really odd.
A little goofy looking.
I don't know if it's a little. They're very goofy looking.
Okay, they're a lot goofy looking.
And every screenshot I've seen of Fox, he looks derpy as fuck every time.
He's like, very derpy. It's like his head is like squished a little bit and his cheeks stick out. I'm like, this is not what Fox looks like. He's got a little
tiny mouth that's always like kind of half open. It's like, what are you doing? You're trying to make him look like an idiot? I don't understand. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about from, there's been so many goddamn events again.
You're telling me.
We try to cover these, but they come in fucking wait, like we just get dumped on. It's like, Jesus Christ. So I did cover PlayStation State of Play on the YouTube channel. You can watch me react to the whole show if you want to, whatever.
Nice 2-hour long video.
Yeah, it was 2 hours. I could have probably edited it, but I just said, whatever. It's probably gonna get 3 views anyways because I'm 3 days late, so I'll just upload it as is. It was a fun show. Well, we're going to get to that, but I asked Jason to watch the Summer Games Fest stuff because I, all week, had not had time to play any games. So I was like, Jason, I'm going to be a degenerate and play some video games for the first time this week. Can you watch some trailers for me? Here is what...
I did.
And you did. Let's hear all about them.
Okay, so, man, I basically kind of picked out what looked the most interesting.
Perfect.
And not even necessarily like games that I would play, but stuff that looked interesting enough. There are things I left out. If you want to go and watch it, I do recommend it. There was a lot of cool stuff in here, but I just kind of picked out the interesting looking things or the unique stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of go down this list and briefly talk about a handful of these games, quite a big handful of these games. But to start off, Stranger Than Heaven is a prequel to the Like a Dragon games. So if you're familiar with that kind of gameplay style, that's what this is. And it has Tupac in it.
Tupac?
There's a part in the trailer where you open this door and Tupac is standing in there. I'm like, what? I get the Like a Dragon. Yeah, he lives. I paused it and was like, what? And there's no it's just kind of like cinematic music and stuff going on. So you don't really even hear what. It's just like, there's Tupac. Okay, cool.
Interesting. Do they show gameplay or is it still really cinematic?
It's very cinematic. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, honestly, was... I mean, there was a decent amount of gameplay in a lot of these, but a lot of these leaned on, cinematic trailers.
So, there's a place for both. There's a place for cinematic trailers, and I usually give shit to cinematic trailers, but you have to build hype somewhat, but
yeah,
it's hard to talk about all cinematic shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of this was just hype. A hype train to promote these games. The next one I saw was, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Hex, Haex. Have you heard about this one?
Nope.
Oh, dude, it is a crazy looking first person adventure shooter that kind of reminded me a lot of Control, like a lot of shifting landscapes and stuff. Very stylized kind of art style, looked pretty cool. Mortal Shell 2. Yeah. So Mortal Shell was, I would have called it more of kind of like a budget Souls-like
100%
in a way.
It was 100%.
Okay, well, I don't know what they're doing with this one, but this looked like a huge step up from Mortal Shell 1. Much bigger open landscapes. The graphics looked crazy. The enemies looked wild. Looked really cool.
Yeah, the first one was really monotone. It was all gray and shit. And from what I saw from the trailer, which also I think had fucking Gojira or something, like a Gojira song playing in the background. Yes. And it was fucking sick as fuck. But this one has a lot more color popping and stuff, and it definitely looks much, much better than the first game did.
That's what I thought. So next up, we got a game called Sand Raiders of Sophie, which is a first-person steampunk western looking game, all kind of set out in just desert area, a lot of sand.
Oh no, it's not. God damn it.
I don't know. There, at one point they got into this spider-looking mech thing and walked around, and
I think this might be the game that that developer that splintered off from Overwatch is making.
Oh, maybe. Oh, look cool.
It's a PvPvE extraction shooter.
Oh.
Why's it gotta be a goddamn extraction shooter? No, but I'm pretty sure, like, I don't
That's
know.
so weird because I mean, again, it's a trail. It's a lot of cinematic and stuff, but it looked like it had like a interesting story and stuff. But I guess so does Arc Raiders. But that's an extraction shooter. Yeah, there it is.
Squad up or go solo. Yeah, it's an extract. It's
building up mechs.
It's a straight up. It says squad up or go solo. No, I don't want to.
Damn it.
Why are they trying to make everything so goddamn complicated? Anyways.
So I will mention that I didn't go into like the descriptions of all this stuff. I just watched the trailers. So there's some things that I might be like a little off on.
No, that's fine. I'm just pulling up shit that my thing's relevant. We're good.
Yep.
Next one's big.
The next one's big, dude. So they've talked about The Last Ronin being in development for quite a while at this point, and The Last Ronin is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. And if you're not familiar with The Last Ronin is, Michelangelo is the last surviving member of the three turtles, and he's out on a revenge mission. It's a much darker tone to the turtles. Like the comic was very dark, and Michelangelo kind of lost his party persona and is just out on a revenge mission. And Platinum Games is making it, so that is really cool.
Do not sleep on Platinum, dude. They have some absolute bangers.
For sure. The only thing I was a little disappointed is it didn't get to see a whole lot. Here's the trailer if you're watching the
it's literally it's 53 seconds. Yeah.
Sewer, you see but that
was
was the Psy. So that's Raphael, but in the comic I'm pretty sure it's Michelangelo. Oh no, it is showing all the different weapons. Okay. That makes sense because that was Leo's katana that they just showed. Michelangelo, from what I remember, is the last Ronin.
Okay. Does he get access to all the weapons then, maybe, you think?
I think you're right. I think he does.
This game looks fucking cool, man. This game looks so cool.
It's gonna be
oh my god! And with Platinum backing it's gonna have fantastic combat. I promise you that. You can mark my words that it will have fucking good combat. So.
As soon as in the whole Platinum Games thing, as far as I know, has been a semi-recent announcement.
Yeah, I don't think that. I just knew it was being worked on as well. I didn't know who was behind it, but
that's I saw Platinum. I was like,
yeah, woo! That's about as good as that. They are probably the pinnacle of that thing, of that genre. They're very good.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. I'm excited to see more, but this seems like it maybe a couple years out yet. It seems like it's really going slow.
Yeah, I mean the little that they show, it just kind of makes you think that
it was literally a zoom out from a hole, and then you got like one, you got like the moon changing color, and then you saw not even in engine like Michelangelo from the back in his hood and shit, and that was it. Like there was nothing. So that seems like a ways out yet to me, but
yeah, for sure. Next up, we got Crossfire. Cam was talking about this a little bit.
No, I wasn't. We were talking about it at break.
Yeah. Okay, so we were talking about it at break. I mean, it looked very pretty and kind of a third-person military shooter, but with some sort of I don't even know, spiritual kind of weird shit happening in the background, like these things that come out of the enemies when you kill them. I don't know. It looked interesting but weird.
It does. It's hard. There's a goddamn there's a really crusty old FPS called Crossfire that was a competitor of Combat Arms, so it was a free-to-play shooter. Is this third person? Is it a third-person shooter?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. They're not related then.
Well, I thought maybe they still were, and this one's a third person instead of a first person, but yeah, a lot of sneaking around and stuff, but it just looked really pretty.
This was what I was thinking it was. This is Crossfire X. I mean, it kind of looks the same. This was a terrible fucking. I think this got canceled. They released a demo and then it got shit on. This game looks bad.
Didn't know about the old Crossfire.
I don't think it's related personally.
Okay.
But it's hard to.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Sorry, tangent aside, but
nope, that's totally fine.
Anyways,
so up next we got they showed more on Star Wars Galactic Racer. This game it looks better every time I see it. It just seems like they show a little bit more vehicles every time. Just it's looking like it's shaping up.
I can't wait for this. I'm not even a Star Wars guy, but it looks dope.
Yeah. Then they showed End of Abyss, which was a kind of an isometric horror shooter. So kind of like think of Diablo, but maybe even a little bit more zoomed in, a little bit closer. But it's a shooter, but like all set in like horror themed. So had a cool art style, looked interesting enough. So
I'm just horrified of budget shooters because of fucking Kree Soul right now. The game sucks.
I know, right?
The game sucks so bad.
Then they showed off Last Harbor, which is a first-person horror shooter. There was like zombies and stuff that like were like attached to the wall, and like you had to like kind of work your way around them. They try to reach out and grab you, and I don't know, look kind of weird, but interesting. They showed off Soulframe, which is a Souls-like game.
Is it really?
That's what it looked like.
Because this is the Warframe guys, or is that different?
It? Well, I don't know, man. If it is, it doesn't quite look the same.
No, it doesn't look the same at all. This is definitely you're right. Okay, weird.
Yeah, that looked like a Souls-like.
It looks like a Souls-like, 100%. I thought Soulframe was made by the fucking
the Warframe guys.
Yeah, maybe they have a different name now.
Got the word frame in it, so maybe.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, they're fucking related. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
but look at that crazy. Like Warframe has like the most bizarre looking like what do they call those guys? The Tennos or something like that.
Yeah, Tennos.
Yeah, their art style is super weird. So this kind of looked similar in a way, but different genre. So anyway, what do we got next? Star Wars Zero Company. This has been talked about for a long time. I still don't 100% even know what it is because it was almost all cinematics that they showed. It showed all a bunch of different characters and stuff, with their lightsabers. They had Yoda in there, had Anakin, but I just didn't get a solid idea of what the game was. I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of third-person adventure action game. I don't know.
Sweet. Backing up.
Yeah.
Soulframe is being made by Digital Extremes, who made Warframe.
Oh, there you go. So you're right.
So I figured I was right. I knew they were making something, but I guess I didn't expect.
Because you're never wrong.
No, yeah, I'm wrong all the time. Believe me. But I didn't expect them to go Souls-like. That's a little strange to me.
Yeah. Well, that's
the
vibe I got from it anyway.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What is this thing here next?
They showed off Monster Hunter Wins Ascendance. I don't know if it's a new Monster Hunter. I'm guessing it's a new Monster Hunter. That's what it looked like. It was pretty short for what they showed. But all I got out of watching it was like, it's Monster Hunter again. It keeps looking better every time a new Monster Hunter game comes out. Just so much more detail. The fluidity of the guy running around attacking the dragon or whatever they showed just looked better than it's ever looked. So
is it? Yeah. It seems early, doesn't it, to be announced in the next one after Wilds?
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not 100% sure what this is, and it's a weird name. Monster Hunter Wins Ascendance.
It is very weird.
Anyway, they showed off Hot Wheels Infinite Rush, which is an open world, almost Forza Horizon like Lego. I'm not Lego. Jesus Christ, Hot Wheels game.
We talked Lego 2K Drive a couple weeks ago.
That's what it reminded. It reminded me of Lego 2K Drive, but Hot Wheels. That's pretty much what it looked like.
It's just
so.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I need my fucking car sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was very Hot Wheels. They are looking like just little toy cars racing around the world. So.
Could be fun.
Could be. Then we got Clutch, which is the game from the X Playground devs, which is an open world racing game, but it seems to be a little bit heavier on story. There was a lot of like cutscenes and stuff with all these characters talking. So looks cool, but I don't feel like I've seen enough to really get a solid feel on how it's gonna be. I assume it's, with being X Playground developers, I know they know what they're doing as far as the racing goes. It's just I'm curious about how deep the story goes in this one.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch this. I mean, it's so fucking stupid to say. It's probably he said it was like a 15-minute watch or something, at least what they showed in Summer Games Fest, but you sent me a trailer that I think is different, wasn't it, or no?
Maybe, I think, oh, yeah, the trailer is a little bit different than what I saw, when I watched this. I think the thing that I sent you was a lot of, like, of the devs actually talking.
Oh, okay.
And they're given, like, almost like a tour of the studio and
I
stuff.
I don't give two fucking farts about
that. I know.
But...
It's just like, take that and just cut all that out and just show us the game stuff.
Someone on the line probably already has, so I'll try to find it.
Probably.
I didn't get a chance to look at it, which is stupid to say. Like, I don't have 15 minutes, but really I don't have 15 fucking minutes. So I really didn't get a chance to, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the gameplay that they showed, even of the driving, was still cinematic. I mean, it said in-game footage, but it's a lot of that camera work where it's like moving around the back of the car and stuff. So I wanted to see like actual gameplay, which they didn't.
There's reason to have question with this because they definitely don't have the backing that they had at Playground. So it's gonna be different. And again, I just said there's a place for cinematic trailers, but this in particular is like really kind of want to see something more, and it doesn't even sound like they gave you much cinematic shit to look at. So really have no idea what the fuck's going on there, to be honest.
One to keep our eye on for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Palworld 1.0 is releasing.
Fantastic.
So I guess they beat Nintendo.
Yeah, seems like it. Randy came up to me and said, Palworld 1.0 is coming out. I'm like, cool, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he told me about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Well.
Did you play it?
I don't. No.
I didn't either.
No. I thought about it, but I didn't care enough.
Dude, it was the fucking hotness for like for like months. It was the hotness.
A while.
I figured one of us would have played it, but nope.
No, I thought about it, but anyway. Mighty Cuphead Adventures is a 16-bit style side-scrolling Cuphead game that looked really cool.
I'll play the fuck out of this. I love Cuphead.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Very retro 16-bit style looking Cuphead.
I love Cuphead.
I mean, Cuphead had amazing art, and this has got amazing art in a different way.
Yeah. I respect it. It's a good move.
Yep.
I would have played Cuphead 2 with the same art style. I thought Cuphead was fucking the shit. I thought it was very good.
Oh, it was great. Hard as shit, but
very hard.
Fun.
Yes.
Yeah, but fun. And then they rounded out the end with Final Fantasy Revelations, which is the third game in the Final Fantasy VII remake trilogy. So
fantastic.
Yeah, if you're into that.
Yeah, I'm bummed out that I'm burning out of the remake. I just don't think it's. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll get back to it someday.
You talked about it on break the other day, and it really kind of opened my eye because I haven't played any of these yet either. I've only watched gameplay and stuff. And I talked about Tales of Arise, and you were like, do you play as the one character or do you play as multiple? I'm like, you play as one. And you're like, that's how it should be. And I forgot about how you got to swap between characters and stuff in the Final Fantasy VII remake, which I'm not super keen on.
It's just, it's such a jarring shift because you're playing as Cloud with the sword, and then you switch to Barrett, who's got a fucking minigun, so you have to change your whole combat strategy, but you have to switch to like be able to use the character's spells because there's like a meter for when they attack, and if you just let them passively attack, they never actually build up to be able to use a spell, so you have to kind of bounce around, and it just doesn't feel that good to me. And I love like action combat, but that shit just fell flat for me. And those games, I mean, all three of those two games put together are fucking long fucking games.
Oh yeah.
So I was like,
well, the first one's like 40 hours. So they probably all are.
Yeah. So I was like, Anyway, what won the Summer Games Fest for you? What are you most excited coming out of that show?
Well, Star Wars Galactic Racer.
Yeah, that's the closest one.
Probably, yeah, that. Obviously the, Star Wars. Not Star. I'm retarded sometimes. What was the other one that I thought?
Last Ronin.
Cool. Last Ronin. That was the other one, except that's probably far out yet. So
that sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff in here, but like stuff I need to see more of before I can really like give a.
Is Summer Games Fest usually pretty like cinematic focused, or it's
a lot of like trailers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like trailers, but usually the Game Awards you usually get like, I feel like more like gameplay shit, and it like gives you like more dates are likely to happen at Game Awards.
Yeah, that's true.
It
was a lot of trailers and stuff for Game Fest. So,
anyways, that's cool. Cool. I wish I could have. I'll probably watch at some point this week just to kind of catch up on stuff because I don't know much about.
It was pretty long.
Any of these. I know it was long. I know it was long because I was gonna watch it, and the show started with like a indie dev showcase. I don't know how long that was, and I love my indie games, but there's only so much like indie game trailers I can watch without being like, okay, I need to be
each
wowed
one of
a
them
little
had
bit.
like intros by the developers and talking about the games and stuff, and I'm like, this is cool, but like, God, this is just, you're packing all these games into this thing, and it's just so long.
Yeah, it is long. I think it's Valiant for what's the fucking guy's name? Jeff? What's his name?
Jeff
Keighley.
Keighley. God damn it.
I think it's smart for him to like do that and showcase those guys because it shows the actual people that are working on the projects and stuff. But yeah, it was paced pretty rough.
For sure. I appreciated it. It was just, each segment was fairly long in its own, but stack them all together and it's just like, whew, a lot of stuff.
Spread them out.
Yep.
So moving on from that, like I said, I covered the state of play. You can watch my whole reaction. There's just a few key takeaways from that I want to talk about. Wolverine. Oh, fucking unreal. Wolverine looked so good. I figured it would. I was impressed walking away from that trailer. It looked super fucking fun.
Did you see what Dr. Disrespect said about it? He was like, this looks terrible.
Yeah,
this looks so bad. I'm like, what are you on, man? You're just trying to get.
He's just trying to rage bait because his career ended after he cheated on his fucking wife and nobody cares about him anymore. So whatever, Dr. Disrespect. You keep fucking.
I'm just like, I saw that. I'm like, dude, you are just trying to get some attention.
Yep. He's just scraping the bottom of the shit. I think it looked great, dude. The blood effects on the suit and like,
oh my God,
they just went full for it, and I love that because I was really nervous. I really was pretty nervous that they were gonna like dial it back because Spider-Man is pretty PG. No, they went full after it. I respect it.
Yeah. But Spider-Man as a character, even in like the movies, is a little bit more PG. He's not like he's a kid, sort of.
Yeah. Wolverine is not a kid. He is shoving his fucking claws. He's shoving his claws to people's faces constantly. Oh, and then like there was animations where they were throwing him off concrete barriers, and the barrier was like breaking and shit. It's like, God, they really attention to details good. Out. Yeah, for sure. Onimusha was there as well, Way of the Sword. We got a demo release for that. I did touch that a little bit. Demo, it felt okay. I think it is leaning more towards Souls-like from what I played. That was my biggest issue. Question was like, are we getting an old school Onimusha hack and slash, or are we getting a Souls-like? And it seems like it is kind of pivoting towards a Souls-like. I didn't quite get to Genma, the boss of the demo, which would really tell me more, but...
You like both of those. I mean, you're a big Souls-like guy, but you also mentioned in the past how much you kind of are hoping for like a nice new, action hack and slash type game too.
Yep.
So
that's what I would prefer right now as a hack and slash game. But that's Wolverine's going to cleanse that for me, I think.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'm kind of in a slump with Souls-likes right now. I just haven't been able to stick with one.
Did you ever go back and touch that one that you talked about?
Wu Chang? No, I haven't played it since I talked about it.
No.
There's just so much more of that game there, and I just was like kind of meh on it to begin with, so didn't really dig it too much. Rayman Legends Retold was a bit of a surprise. Bringing back Rayman, which is about fucking time. Is it a remake of Legends?
No.
Rayman Legends is a game.
Oh, you're right.
But it looked way different. There was like third-person
Oh, yeah.
segments, and
It
I mean,
looked a lot different. If it is, they've done a lot to remake it.
And it's got like it's still got that like that music theming. Was that always a part of Rayman's character?
I think so.
I don't remember it being a big thing
I'm
in
not
like the first
super familiar with Rayman.
It's just fun platform. And the modern Raymans were really good. So yeah, this is cool. It's about time that we bring back Rayman Legends or Rayman in general. So I'm happy to see him come back. Can we get fucking Twisted Metal again though? What are we doing? What are we doing, man?
Like no games like that anymore. Like car combat games.
No,
just
there's not.
Went away.
They're just gone. What the hell happened? I don't know. I can tell you, Demolition All-Stars came out, nobody fucking played it. So they're probably like, we ain't fucking touching it.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it.
Yeah. Bancho the Chef was my star of the show here. I am so pumped for Bancho the Chef.
Explain, because I don't know much about this one.
Okay, so Bancho the Chef is a did you ever play Dave the Diver?
Oh, I love Dave the Diver.
Bancho is the chef and Dave the Diver. So that's
how I know that name.
Bancho is so Bancho the Chef is not like Dave the Diver. You play as a young Bancho while he's learning how to become a chef.
No way.
Yeah, so it's like third person. You go out and you fish, but then you go back to the restaurant and it kind of becomes like Diner Dash or like kind of Cooking Mama shit where you're kind of like assembling dishes and stuff. I fucking can't wait. I thought Dave the Diver was fucking amazing. I actually do kind of like these like goofy, corny restaurant shop type of things. So does my wife.
Right.
My wife's gonna die when this comes out, I think. But this was
that's okay. Yeah, I'm excited now.
Yeah, this was my star of the show. This game looks fucking sick as shit. It just said in development for PS5. I'm sure it's going everywhere. It's third party.
Oh, probably.
But this is definitely one I will keep my eyes out on.
That's the thing I liked about Dave the Diver is like you can make a lot of games like that. Same with god damn it, that roguelite one where you went back and ran a shop after you
Racketeer
went on your
Moonlighter.
No, Moonlighter. So you can do a game like that and one area can be really strong and the other area not so much. Moonlighter did it great. I never like finished a run and then like dreaded the shop running part. I thought the shop running part was just as fun, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Dave the Diver was the same way. I thought the diving and the fishing and stuff was really cool. And then when you went back and you helped run this it was well done.
Really well done.
I enjoyed both parts of that game. So that's cool. I'm excited about this one now.
I have not played the Dave the Diver DLCs at all, but
I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't go back for DLCs. I think we've talked about that. I just usually don't.
We have.
But Dave the Diver is really cool. Just the base game was so much fun. I really enjoyed
it.
Yep. Stuntman Hollywood. We talked about this at the start of the second segment. I started playing Ignition again because they showed this, and this was like one of the most trippy trailers of all time. I had no fucking clue what was going on. Like it started with like a Need for Speed car, and then it pivoted to what's the damn Black Knight car with the fucking LEDs? I don't know what that's from.
The Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. There you go. Went to that, and then it turned into the DeLorean, and it was like, what the fuck is going on here?
What is happening?
And then they announced it was Stuntman. So I think it's cool. They almost sounds like they had the Back to the Future like soundtrack license in there or something when they showed the DeLorean. So this might be like really tied into some IPs and shit, which would be super cool if that's the case.
Oh,
yeah. Because like
if you can get all that stuff licensed.
And just recreate scenes from those movies would be fucking amazing. Ignition didn't have any of that like licensing crazy stuff. It was just like a fake scenario. You
kind of just generic.
You record these stunt scenes for these fake movies, and then you do the stunts, and then it shows you a movie trailer, and that's your reward for doing the stunt work or whatever. But if they actually get licenses, this could really be cool. I'm excited to see where they go with that. And then they ended this show with God of War La Fey. So, there's a lot of controversy surrounding La Fey.
Sure is.
I don't know how much of that is even worth getting into. Here's what I will say, and I've said this before. I don't like Modern Warfare. I don't like God of War. I don't like modern God of War. I love God of War. I don't like modern God of War. I think the combat's not for me. It's just not great. So I beat 2018. I beat Ragnarok. It's hard for me to be like, I'm not interested in Lao Fei because it's the third one. I've already beat the other two. It's there. I don't know what they are doing with this game though. You play as Faye in like the afterlife, and her companion instead of Atreus is now a fucking gelatinous cube.
Yep. I watched that and I'm like, that was my first thought. I was like, I'm not like really into this world anymore. I love the old God of Wars, but my first thought was like, I want to hear what Cam has to say about this.
You could do anything you want. You could do anything. You're in a fictional afterlife of the gods, and you choose. And by the way, this game was completely written. I don't know how she keeps coming up, by Alana Pierce. I don't know how she keeps coming into this podcast, but she wrote this entire story.
Okay.
But you're in a fictional Norse afterlife. You could choose a really cool mythical beast to be your companion. You could choose another god from Norse mythology to be your companion. You could choose a bunch of things, but instead we get a gelatinous fucking cube. And you're watching the combat and it looks so fucking stupid. It looks how can you play that and not get your immersion broke when you're watching this big jello ball fucking hitting enemies? Like, I'm sure there's some explanation, but I almost don't care what it is. It's so fucking stupid.
I watched that whole thing with this face, just like this.
Yeah, I had the same.
What?
Well, I don't know if I had that face. I was kind of, I was watching it with some confusion. You could see that on the reaction.
It was a bizarre, confused look on my face.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what we're doing. I mean,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. She's got a magical sword, and the combat looked improved over what Kratos could do. There's like some air dashes, and Faye seems to play a little bit quicker than Kratos did.
A lot more agile.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's enough to.
I would say I left that trailer more curious than I originally was, because I was originally like, I don't really think I care what they do. I'm probably just done with this until we get remake. And now I'm still kind of in the same spot, but I would say my interest was picked up just slightly because I think Faye looks kind of fun to control. But it is quite difficult to call it a God of War game and you're playing as Faye the entire time.
Yep. And there's not Kratos.
Well, he is in a shish character or something, and so
it's so weird though. I saw a bunch of stuff online where people were like, if it's not Kratos, I'm out. I'm done.
Well, you can take this so many ways. Fucking Christ's sake. I'm going to do this, I guess. God of War is created for, it's created for men, okay? It tells a very masculine story about a guy that goes through, like if you look at the original trilogy, he's got rage problems, he's vengeful, he's got all this anger, which a lot of men understand that feeling. And so you're taking this character and living out his revenge tale, and it just builds something in you. And then it goes from that, which is kind of a shallow thing, but it's definitely targeted at men, to the new trilogy where you're kind of dad Kratos, right? So it hits the audience that it hit back then. And let's just say you have children. If you have kids, God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok are going to hit better for you than they did for me, because they still tell the fatherhood story in a very masculine way. Okay. So the entirety of this franchise has been targeted at men. Okay. And then you pivot to a female protagonist. I have no problem with female protagonists, by the way. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself with this, but this whole game's demographic is targeted at men. And then you completely 180 pivot it to controlling Faye. So it's not going to be a masculine story. It's not going to be a story that the prime demographic for this franchise is looking for. That's just the way that it is. So I don't know. And there's a trend of this happening. I didn't even
like think about that part of it. That's why I like our different takes on this stuff. Because like now that you say that, I'm like, that's a good point. Like who is this for now?
Right. That was what I thought after I watched it. Like, well, who is this for?
Interesting.
And I don't know. I mean, how many, like,
couldn't tell you.
There are a lot of women gamers, and shout out to y'all for being women gamers.
There's a ton.
But what do you think the demographic is for women gamers that play God of War?
I don't know.
It ain't high. I can tell you that.
It can't be.
No, it tells a father story.
That's a good, I
mean, because the whole game, like you didn't play 2018 in Ragnarok. The narratives were all about teaching your son lessons, teaching your son.
I knew that.
Teaching your son how to be a respectful or a responsible man or whatever. Yes, there was some godly subtext, but ultimately it was just like telling the story of a father-son relationship and how that's built and how that bond grows. It's not going to hit with women. It's not made for women. It's a man story. I mean, it will hit for. I'm sure there's ladies that love God of War, but hopefully what I'm saying isn't like sexist, but it is targeted at men.
Yeah.
And now we're getting a feminine story. It's completely against the core demographic. So I think this game will not do well. I don't think it's going to do that well.
I think it'll suffer because of that. Yeah.
100%. It totally pivots. And I mean, you can look at a lot of franchises are doing this. Last of Us switched from Joel to Ellie and whoever the other lady in Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima was Jin Sakai is now Atsu. It's like and I have no problem with female leads, but you have to. We either need new IPs that are give me a similar like. Honestly,
but I think
I would rather this game just be called Faye, and not God of War Lao Fei, and tie it into what it is. Because if it was Faye, then it would clearly be an offshoot of the trilogy, and people wouldn't be getting swindled into it. Because it's
and I think one of the differences between like God of War and like you talked about The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, like God of War it does have that father-son sort of component to it. Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, that's just playing a female lead. It doesn't have to. You can play as a male playing a female lead and not really have any sort of issues with that. But like you said, with God of War, it's a father-son relationship throughout the whole thing. Last of Us is Joel and Ellie, and Ellie is a big part of the first Last of Us. And if you know the story of The Last of Us, Joel dies, and so you take over playing as Ellie. But you have also been with Ellie, this whole time, so it doesn't feel like as big of a shift as going from a father-son game to now a whole new God of War game playing from the female perspective. If that makes
100%. I said that completely out of negligence, and I apologize. I'm not trying to come across as sexist. I'm just saying, like,
no,
we are seeing male protagonists be phased out for female leads, which means the entire narrative. And Last of Us may have been a bad example, but it's happening in swaths. And it seems like AAA developers are trying to please the 0.001% of people.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. I'm not saying women are. I'm just saying these agendas that they want to put in their games do not represent the majority of the people playing the games.
Correct.
And
I go ahead, keep going.
In my opinion, it ruins the narrative for no reason. That's all I'm saying. That's the end of that conversation for me. Anyway.
Right. And I was not trying to discount what you were saying about there being female leads in game, because I have no problem with that either. What I was trying to compare was how you were saying, who is this new God of War game for now because of it being such a father-son relationship and shifting to a female lead. Yeah. I have no problem playing as a female character. It doesn't even bother me when I jump into a game and Star Wars Outlaws. I love Star Wars Outlaws. You play the whole game as a woman. Didn't bother me one bit. It's just the shift from the story that God of War is into this new God of War. So I was playing off of your
I know what you're saying. I just felt like I may have offended people.
No, I don't,
because I'm unfamiliar with Last of Us. I was just using that as a comparison point that male leads are getting replaced at an alarming rate, which I don't care, but you have to write the story. This is the same thing with fucking, the best example I have is Ghost of Tsushima. The Jin Sakai.
I haven't played that.
I know. So here's the thing. The Jin Sakai story was brilliantly crafted. It was so good because it was the story of a samurai battling between himself, whether or not he remains following the samurai code, fighting face to face with his enemies with honor and dignity and respect, or using stealth tactics and bombs and things like that and surprise attacks and things like that goes against his moral code. Okay. And this all tied in, and it worked because male samurais had this battle. True. They had this battle. Okay. So then they decide they don't want to do anything else with Jin, but they want a female lead. So they switch to Atsu, and then Ghost of Yotai, no matter what you say, is a revenge tale that has been told a billion fucking times. It's a clear degradation of a very good narrative to match a character change that I don't think needed to occur.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just.
I do now.
So I just think it ruins. It just fucks with narratives. You can write these stories fine, but like you have a great narrative, a spectacular narrative in Tsushima. And then you get a very stock standard, bottom of the barrel, generic story in Yotai because they couldn't be creative enough to give us a nuanced story again because they pivoted to a female lead.
Okay. Good point. I forgot about that video that you had made. I think it was kind of your review, essentially, of and how you were just like, it's just it doesn't work in the same way. It's not because it's a female lead. It's because the story that they're trying to tell is not nearly as impactful as the first one.
It isn't. And it goes back to, if you look at the times, right?
Yeah.
And this is, again, out of a place of negligence, and maybe I'm speaking out of my asshole here, but the stories that we have from that time period in Japan are from the male perspective. There may have been female samurais, and I'm not a historian to be able to tell you that there weren't. However, we don't have any stories from their perspective. So there is no ability for the developers to create a nuanced story that ties to that time period with that protagonist because there's nothing to go off of. So we get this very bland story from it. And I think that ruined Yotai. Like, I will revisit Tsushima 1,000 times over ever playing Yotai again. I beat Yotai, but it was very generic. So it's like, when we're doing that to franchises that I love, it's hard for me to not get pissed about it.
No, I get it. You know? Yep.
And God of War, Lao Fei could be a great written story. It might be. It probably will be. I don't think they would greenlight a bad story, but it's not Kratos. So with the community saying that they're not going to play it because there's no Kratos, I don't blame them, because I don't think this game is made for that audience.
Okay, good point. You've opened my eyes a little bit more on that, on the background of all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like political or have a political opinion. No. It's just like
I don't take it that way.
It's just like that's my honest thoughts on the matter. So I'll keep my eye on it. Again, but yeah, it's annoying. And I mean, it's hard also as a consumer to be like, okay, I'm going to support this, right? And then, if this game does gangbusters, then Kratos is gone. Oh, I muted myself. But if you support it, then there's the fear that this game excels really well, and then Kratos disappears.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you take the?
I can't see that going over real well.
No, but do you take the moral stance of like, this isn't really for me. This isn't my God of War. I'm not going to buy it. But, or do you?
Oh man, that's tricky.
Ultimately, I don't think this game is going to sell as well, no matter what.
I don't imagine it.
And I don't exactly understand Sony Santa Monica like not understanding that basic principle. But maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Good point. Something to think about.
I mean, they didn't have a lot of options like we talked about after Ragnarok, because that kind of concluded the storyline. I would have honestly, when I went into it thinking like after they announced the game was kind of based around Faye and stuff, I thought it was going to be like 2018, but it would still be a Kratos focused game with Faye as your side character instead of Atreus.
Instead of
Yeah, that's what I thought the direction was going to be. Wasn't this? Anyway, we have stuck on this for far too fucking long. Anyways,
a little while.
Yeah, we'll move on. We still got Nintendo time. You goddamn it.
We do.
It's Nintendo time.
So I want to start the Nintendo time with a little bit of...
Yeah, we're switching it up.
Yeah, I want to start this off with a little bit of a question for you, Jason.
Okay.
It has been 1 year since the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. So I want to rip through some of the main first-party titles, and I want you to kind of talk to me about what you thought of them. And then at the end of this discussion, I would like you to give me an A through F rating of the first year of Nintendo. Okay.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do kind of like a little timeline going through some of this stuff, and then we'll kind of break it down at the end. So 2025 gave us Mario Kart World. Right off the bat with the machine. A lot of controversy surrounding Mario Kart World.
First $80 game.
First $80 game. On top of that, I don't think that it was super well received.
It was not. I've been a big Mario Kart fan ever since the Super Nintendo version, and there have been some ups and downs in the Mario Kart game series as time has gone on. I bought into a lot of the hype with Mario Kart World, and I did play it. I think it was the first thing I played on my Switch 2, and did enjoy what I was playing for a while. And that's when it started to kind of be like, oh, that's about it. The open world stuff really wasn't all that interesting.
Nope.
Yes, there was, I did kind of find some of the challenges interesting, but like the collectibles and stuff, I just was not into. And I am an open world fan. I like that shit. So when I saw that and heard that this was going to be like an open world Mario Kart game, I was like, I am on board, until I got a lot of time with it. I still enjoy the time that I had with it. I know you say this game stinks. I don't think it stinks. I just don't think it was revolutionary enough for how they were kind of explaining that they thought it was going to be. I mean, even the $80 price tag point, people were like, whoa, what is happening? And Nintendo kept saying, you will understand when you play it. You will understand this $80 price tag. And I never understood.
Well, no, the open world was fucking empty, bro.
It was empty.
It was fucking empty as fuck.
It was empty. I went straight to the challenges, and that's about it. I just did not. I thought that I would be driving around and exploring and finding stuff, but like after a while, I'm like, I'm not enjoying my time with this. I stuck to the races. I do think Knockout Tour is great. I think Knockout Tour is definitely something they need to keep doing, you know, in the follow-up games to this. But I think that was really the only standout to Mario Kart World compared to any of the other ones.
Okay. Launch title, they kind of swindle pack people because if you bought it with the system, you got $50. If you got it separate, it was $80. So they were clearly trying to push the bundle, which I mean makes sense. You wanted a game with your Switch, so still kind of scummy. Either way, what would you give Mario Kart World on an A to F tier list ranking?
Oh, I still think it's decent.
I mean, they went really out of the way. I mean, they doubled down with the stupid fucking highway races online. They never caved in to people wanting and begging for circuits. They just doubled down, tripled down on that.
That is Nintendo for you in a nutshell. I would still give Mario Kart World like a B-.
B-. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go C on that. I think it's very middle of the road, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not the Switch guy. My opinion don't matter.
Tad higher. Yep.
We got Donkey Kong Bonanza. You love Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I did really enjoy Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it's one of those games that got better the farther along you got. The second half of that game I thought was like way better than the first half. And the first half I did enjoy quite a bit. Yeah, a very, very well made game. The only weird part about it is it's Donkey Kong and not Mario. I get, you know, they wanted to showcase a different character and stuff, but when you release a new console, you know, if you compare the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, the Switch 1's lineup at the beginning was stellar. You had a new Mario game. You had a new Zelda game. It was just like you couldn't really beat that. So this was like their answer to a new 3D Mario game, but it's a Donkey Kong game, and it was very well done. I liked the destructibility and stuff was awesome. That's what really kind of showed off what the Switch 2 could do over what the Switch 1 could do. Like, I mean, you could just basically destroy entire planets full of stuff. You know, it was very well made. There's just that little bit that kind of drops it down since it's not the new, and it was the Mario Odyssey team that made Donkey Kong Bonanza. So people were like, "This is great. I'd still like it to be Mario, though."
Yeah, but I think everybody would. So one piece of criticism I heard about Bonanza in particular was that each level kind of was exactly the same. You kind of always did the same thing. Whether I don't know what it was. I never played this at all, but I heard it felt very repetitive in the second half. Did you have any of that experience or no?
So I actually thought the second half was it introduced a lot more stuff. There was more things to do. I thought the first half, it could kind of border on repetitive. I mean, each one of the layers, you basically are digging down into this world. Each one of the layers kind of had a different theme. But yeah, you're right. There were some repetitiveness in the way that you kind of got through these levels. But yeah, no, I thought the second half just kind of ramped everything up.
Okay.
I thought it had a good conclusion too.
All right. So. We don't have to rate every single one of these games. Let's move on. We can skip Hyrule Warriors. I don't think anybody really cares about Hyrule Warriors.
It was fine.
Did you play it?
Yep.
Oh, you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. And then it
was fine. It just it wasn't like enough to be like, ooh, this is the next, you know, Hyrule Warriors game. It was just kind of more of the same, I guess.
Okay.
So
All right. And then we had Welcome to It,
Yeah.
which has got a lot of controversy surrounding it. Should have been a pack-in. Should have been free. Wasn't free.
Should have been free.
Had to buy it. But I
Didn't play
guess this is the best game to showcase all the tools and trinkets on the Switch 2 if you did play it. But I mean, that's all
That's
it is.
why it should have been a pack-in game.
Should have been a pack-in, a game 100%. I don't know what. Do you know what Dragon Drive is? Basketball game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wheelchair basketball game.
Okay.
So one of the big features of the Switch 2 was that the Joy-Cons could come off, you turn them sideways, and it turns into a mouse. And it actually does work better than you would think. Soon as it goes down onto a table or even like your lap or your leg or something, it turns into a mouse. And you can control either a cursor or, in the case of Dragon Drive, each Joy-Con was a hand that controlled the wheels. So it was like tank controls. So like
Okay.
both of them forward and forward and forward, moved your wheelchair forward. You put one way, one the other. You turn, and then you raise your hands up if you got the ball, and you could shoot it. An okay kind of representation of what the mouse controls could do
Okay.
on the Switch, but ultimately not a great game.
Okay.
Very, very shallow and
Yeah.
very un-Nintendo. Very kind of grays and blacks and just not Nintendo like. So I thought it was weird. Short-lived game for me.
Okay. And then Kirby Air Riders. Did you play Kirby Air Riders at all?
Yep. Thought
So-
that was pretty fun.
Pretty fun. Okay. I heard it was more of the same from Air Ride.
It is more of the same. It's another Sakurai game. So
Mm-hmm.
he did the first Kirby Air Ride. This is like his follow up to that. A very, very Sakurai. If you know like Smash Brothers or anything like that, it is like he just has a style of stuff, like a billion different unlockables and gadgets and things that you can put onto your cart. But essentially, it's like a kart racer, but not. Like the vehicle moves by itself, and you're kind of more in control of the turns and
Mhm.
the power ups and stuff. So, but very, very chaotic, like super fast. So another kind of example of what probably couldn't have been done on the Switch 1, just with like the very, very fluid movement. Very, very solid frame rate. Everything was just very, very fast. More of the same. Just
Yeah, that's the
was
criticism
fun.
I heard about it, was that it was just kind of like Air Ride, but new,
Yep.
I guess.
just new.
You did get the Switch 2 edition of ZA, which you said improved that game quite a bit.
Yep.
And then we
Did
got
kind of ultimately fall off that one though.
Yeah. happens.
Yep.
Prime 4. I thought Prime 4 released on Switch 2. I guess it didn't.
There's a Switch 2 version and a Switch 1 version.
Okay, well, Prime
As
4
well.
was kind of.
I was pretty hyped for this one, and then it ended up being. So the weird thing about Prime 4 was it's another game that they kind of semi turned into an open world that didn't need it
Uh-huh.
at all.
Uh-huh.
Prime 4 was canceled and then started by another team, and you kind of could feel it in so there's like this big open like sandbox area, and then you basically drive on your bike to each one of the like actual like Metroid Prime locations. So when you would get into those areas, it felt like Metroid Prime, but it also felt very tacked on. It just kind of felt like they had all these worlds and didn't know how to kind of bring them together. So like Metroid Prime 1 is phenomenal. And then the remaster of it was so good. It's just the way that all these different environments are blended together. It's kind of a seamless area that you can just kind of go and explore, but not an open world. Everything's kind of, corridors that lead into areas that lead into other corridors and stuff. But Prime 4 just was like everything just kind of mashed into this open world thing, and it just felt like, and it's basically you're just driving around this area, and then you find a door, and you open the door, and then it's like you're going into what a normal Metroid Prime level would be, and it just didn't. The gameplay itself was great, and graphically, it's probably one of the, if not the best looking game on the Switch 2. It just felt very pieced together, which I didn't love.
I don't like that either. And then in 26 so far, we got Pokopia. We've talked about Pokopia kind of quite a few times on this episode, but recap your thoughts on Pokopia for people that are listening for the first time, Jason.
A Pokemon game where you play as a Ditto in a semi-human form, and kind of Animal Crossing-ish in a sense that you have all these Pokemon around instead of like villagers, and you can do level like manipulation and terrain stuff, build up, Poke Centers for these Pokemon. They all need their own kind of habitat to be happy in and stuff. And I mean, it's a good game. It just didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
Was my main thing. But like I hear a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, this is one of the best games on the Switch too." And I don't deny that it's a good game. It just didn't.
Was it for you?
Didn't click.
Yeah, it's all good. Mario Tennis Fever. I don't know if you didn't play that,
Nope.
did you? No. Just another Mario
Don't really
Tennis game. Honestly, it kind of flew under the radar actually after it came out, and then
It did. Well, because people were comparing a lot to, so Aces like was a much better playing tennis game, but Aces criticism was not enough content.
Yep.
So Fever had a lot more content, a lot more characters, 30 different rackets that all had different things. But the tennis didn't feel as good. So it's almost like if you took those two games and like made one out of them, it'd be fantastic. But like each one had their own criticisms. And then the more I heard about Fever, I played Aces.
I played
But
Aces
the more
too.
I heard about Fever, I was like, no.
Yeah, don't blame
Yeah.
me there. Well, the most recent release we got was Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Book. I don't think you played that one yet, so I don't know what the
Don't really
opinion
care.
is. Consensus, you don't care about it? Okay.
It's getting mixed, average reviews.
Okay.
It's kind of a platformer / like mystery game where the whole point is this book, falls in Yoshi's lap, and he has to like document creatures and things that he finds along the way, and then it fills this book up and then tells a story from that book, and I just not really that interested.
Fair enough. Got a couple games coming out soon. Star Fox, Splatoon Raiders, both of those look solid, and Dusk Bloods maybe, who knows. And then new Fire Emblem this scheduled for this year too at some point. So overall, I mean, how'd you think the Switch 2 did coming out of the gates in their first year?
Didn't have as strong of a, so like the Switch one was probably my favorite. We had our favorite console, mini episode. That was my favorite, one. But the Switch 2 just didn't have quite as big of an impact. I mean, it's not going to anyway, because it's the same thing. It's just a powerful version of the Switch 1. That combined with not quite as strong of a lineup out the gate kind of hurt it in both ways. I still enjoy it because I still look at it like a beefed up Switch.
Yeah.
So I still like it. It just didn't have quite the same impact out the gate that Switch 1 did.
Yeah.
So
A through F.
B+.
B+ is pretty high. I like it. I mean,
it's still pretty good. Still a good system. It still has good games. I did enjoy going back and playing some of those Switch 1 games on my Switch 2 that I either didn't finish or just wanted to see a slightly better version of, and I did get enjoyment out of that. It just, the Switch 2 also had a big, I wouldn't call it a problem, but it had a ton of ports, from other systems. So, but there were some games that I hadn't gotten around to playing that I played on my Switch 2. So, but yeah, still a good system. There's nothing wrong with the system at all. It just didn't have quite the impact that the first one did. So
perfect. Well, there you go.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
My thoughts.
Yeah, no, it's your system. I ain't even going to give an opinion on it, honestly. I need to play more World, I think, just to play more World, but man, that game bummed me out.
I mean, you could just literally play Knockout Tour over and over, and it is super fun. Like that's how starting with the 22, you go through the first gate, you lose 4 or 5, and as you go, you're into the last gate, you're down to like the final 3, racers. Kind of I don't even want to compare it to like a like a kind of a race royale sort of.
Yep.
Not really a battle royale, but
Yeah.
like you just kind of keep knocking people out. So, but like even the regular modes where you just go through, course after course.
Yeah.
I get the criticism there because you start on the first course, you do the 4 laps, or 3 laps or whatever that you always have done Mario Kart game. Then you drive to the next circuit. And that was people's like, why can't I just go from one to the next, And Nintendo just never budged on that. They're like, nope, we like that you have to drive to the next one. But that counts as essentially the first 2 laps. And then you race 1 lap around the next circuit. And then the next circuit is 1 lap. Then the last circuit is 1 lap because it counts 2 laps to drive to the circuit itself. So not my favorite mode, but I thought Knockout Tour was great.
Yeah, there you go. I respect it. All right, the last little bit here. You have a news article that we're finally getting some news from fucking FromSoft.
Only because we have talked about this and we're like, where's Dustbloods? Where's Elden Ring? They finally given us a release date on Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, August 28th of this year. So, and I have seen some gameplay, and
it's on screen here. This is Switch 2 footage.
Yeah, it's probably still not as good as the other versions, but it's a hell of a lot better than it looked when they first showed it.
Yeah, so. I mean, it looks fine. I mean, if this is your only console and you want to play Elden Ring, this will work just fine.
Yep. Wanted to throw that in there.
I take that we're getting Elden Ring before Dustbloods.
That's what it's looking like.
And Dustbloods is targeting holiday with GTA 6. By it.
What are they doing?
Listen, you wouldn't think that those communities mix, but I think any gaming community mixes with GTA 6.
For sure.
So
everyone plays GTA.
Yeah, so I don't. And I mean, if you only have a Switch, you're not going to be able to get GTA 6. So there's that, I guess. But
here's the other weird thing about the comparison to Dustbloods to Elden Ring is Elden Ring is already an established game, and they need it to run as well as it can on the Switch 2, and clearly they've had issues over the past year. Dustbloods is starting out as a Switch 2 exclusive, so I don't understand why that couldn't have been the first thing. There must be something going on that
they're not saying. I think so too.
When they're developing it for this system, you wouldn't think, I mean, I wouldn't expect it to look as good as Elden Ring, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But why haven't we seen anything?
I think a delay for that is inevitable, no matter what the fuck they say. I think that slips to next year. Jesus. I just don't. We've seen nothing, so like it just seems
not
like
since the initial release trailer or whatever you want to call it.
It just seems like that game is destined to slip a little.
Yep.
So, and honestly, probably for the best.
It probably is.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
That's just kind of the way that it works. And Jason's like, why do we keep talking about this shit? I don't like my fucking Souls likes yet.
But it's interesting enough. I mean, Dustbloods being a FromSoft game, being developed for the Switch 2 is kind of a big deal, regardless of how you look at it. If it's a game for you or not, it's kind of a big deal. So we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a big selling point to the Switch 2, and it's just like crickets after.
Yep. Yep.
So
bizarre.
It's very bizarre. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, I guess good stuff. And then, I don't know. There it is. All right, that's kind of all that we had for the Rambly Bambly stuff. We had a lot of shit to talk about just because there was so many events.
There was a lot of stuff.
As we're talking, the Xbox Game Showcase is going on. So.
Oh, that's it. Oh my God, that's today.
Yeah, I think that I was just reading something that they decided to walk back Gears of War E-Day it's remaining at Xbox exclusive.
Oh.
I think they removed the cross-platform support for that. Is what I was reading. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say I thought you were gonna be like they decided to not talk about that yet. I'm like that was like their fucking big thing.
No, I think they're keeping it as an exclusive to Xbox, which is
That's Asha Sharma for you.
Listen,
she's keeping a tight grip.
Dude, she had this interview on Business Insider Tech or something that I watched. She's actually really impressive. Like I feel really bad like having the doubts that I did.
No.
Yeah, I mean
we both did. I did too, because I'm like, this chick, she bounces around to these jobs and just does a little bit and then is out. But like, man, the amount of effort that she's been putting into this is impressive.
Yeah, she's making really good moves, and I hate exclusives. I wish PS5 exclusives were on Xbox. I don't give two farts, but at the end of the day, that's what sells consoles.
Yes.
And Xbox needs to have exclusives. That's just the way that it is. It's a unfortunate necessity, right? And and so as shitty as it is that Gears of War is going to remain on Xbox for us PlayStation guys, it makes sense if they want to stay in the console market. And so from everything Asha Sharma has said, they're wanting to maintain console play, which was completely opposite to what Phil Spencer was doing. Phil Spencer was like opening the fucking doors to everything.
Everything's an Xbox.
Yeah. And she came in, squashed that, and has put a massive emphasis on console hardware. And I think it's great. I honestly think it's great. And I think that interview that she had with Business Insider was really, really impressive. She didn't talk like a corporate spokesperson in that. She was very down to earth and very honest and transparent and wasn't really trying to sugarcoat shit. And I gained a lot of respect for her. And I think
I'll have to check that out.
She's doing a lot of things that are really crucial for Xbox to succeed long term. And she even came out and said that she wants Xbox to be the number one place in gaming, which Phil Spencer never would have said.
No.
So, she's really putting a priority on things. I mean, she's has an AI background, and she stepped up and said that she didn't want Copilot on consoles. Like,
right.
She literally, listen, you can say all that you want about her not being a gamer, and she tried to fake play it with her. They posted her account and she didn't have all this gamer score, yada yada. And she addressed that in the interview as well, saying she's not a gamer, but now she is because she's learning the industry. And listen, when she was talking about the games industry, you have to watch that, Jason. It was it was really impressive. Like, she was talking about the games industry, and she somehow very quickly got caught up to speed on the industry, and she knows what the fuck she's talking about now. Like,
wow.
I am very impressed. Super impressed. And I think Xbox's future is bright because of it. I really do. I think I'm absolutely shocked. I mean,
I'm excited about that.
She even made a comment that, well, you should get a PlayStation, Jason, because you're missing out on some fucking exclusives.
I know.
But she even mentioned, like, she made a comment about hardware, and they talked about rising costs of hardware and shit. And she made a comment about, they can't, I don't remember exactly what she said. You'd have to watch the interview.
Okay.
I was just very impressed, super impressed. So I'll check it out.
Cool.
Other than that, that's that. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I feel like we just talked, and I don't know if I really said much. I don't know where the time
you said plenty. We did talk a lot, but I kind of liked it. It was just kind of a back and forth.
I think this will be more flowy. This segment will be more flowy when there's not so much shit to talk about.
There was just a lot. Yes.
It's just like, boy, oh boy, what a bunch of shit.
Yeah. We flowed as good as we could with the amount of content that we had to talk about.
There's just a lot. And it kind of felt bullet pointy because there was just so much bullet pointy shit that we had to cover because of everything that went on.
Less bullet pointy than our news section, though.
Yeah, I would say. I
don't mind that.
Yeah. So anyways, we're going to keep evolving this segment, but I do want to do a third segment and spoil the fuck out of Golf Club. So if you want to see that, stick around with us. If not, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you. Love y'all. Anyways, you can bounce here. We're going to go to a quick break. After the break, Jason's going to give me all the nitty gritties on Golf Club Wasteland.
Yeah.
So stick around if you want that. All right, guys, welcome back to the Spawn Point Podcast in the third segment, and we're talking spoilers. Jason, tell me everything about Golf Club Wasteland. I want to know what the hell's going on, because I could see the glimmer in your eye when you were talking about it. So I know there's something special here.
What an odd game to even have like a spoiler discussion on, a game that like I just bought on a whim, and it just, I don't know, man. It just kind of, it hit me. It told a really good story in such a simple way, and I think it's so well done. So essentially, like, I was trying to dance around this earlier, but like your character is basically going back to Earth to die. Like, he is done. Like, he's depressed. He's kind of given up, and the reason for that is his wife was one of the scientists that helped develop what they needed to get off of Earth to get to Mars, and essentially she got left behind because she was not able to make it off Earth. So you got to leave and got to go to Mars, but the whole time you're like, it's not worth it without her. Like, it is just, yes, I got to live, but I don't feel like I should have gotten to live. So he is just kind of just down, and he decides to go back to Earth, and he tells everyone on Mars that it's for a reason, and that, you know, he'll be coming back or whatever, but he doesn't have any intentions of coming back. He wants to go back to where he's from, and his wife's already died here, and he kind of wants to do the same thing. What he doesn't expect is to find this Cub character. And essentially what the Cub character is there was a small portion of humans that were able to somehow survive this world, and they've mutated, essentially. So he is a boy, but just a boy born into this wasteland of Earth, and he's kind of like, his skin is white. He has, you know, boy features and everything, but from what they've shown or portrayed, is he is kind of alone. Like, he was born here, but I'm guessing his mother died. He doesn't have anybody else. So you, as this astronaut and this boy, are kind of what's left. You know, not to say that there isn't other survivors, but you don't see anybody else. As far as you know, it's you two. And even this clip right here, this is at the very, very end. This is after you finish the last hole. He is trying to get this boy's attention. He can tell that this boy is curious as to what he is, and he just wants to talk to him. He wants to know what he is. And it's not in the gameplay. It's in this storybook that they show you at the end of the game, where it goes back and tells the story of him and his wife, and she's the one developing this thing. He gets to leave. She dies. He comes back, and then he ends up kind of befriending this Cub, and the Cub kind of tells him the story of his life. Your character tells him the story of his life and why he's back, and they develop this friendship, and the Cub is able to survive on this planet while your character is not without his suit, and his suit is only going to last him so long. So it's basically the story of these two becoming friends, knowing that eventually I cannot remember his name. They call him something. He's got a name, but you know, it and then as they're developing this friendship and learning to be friends with each other. Your character keeps kind of coughing up blood, and you tell it's only so long. So they're just trying to be as good of friends as they can while he's still on Earth, and then eventually he dies. And then it's kind of over. And then that's where the cub takes over, and the next game you play it. So I'm just very interested to follow this. As good as stories that they've told in this, like I want to know what the cub story is. So
absolutely.
That's about as spoilery as I can get with this.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I figured it was something like that, but that's just like you would not expect that from this game looking at it at all.
Not even in the slightest. That's what I think is so surprising. Like the way that this story, like I finished it and I saw credits and it goes back to the screen and I kind of sat there for a little bit and I was like, damn.
Damn, what the fuck? Yeah.
It's like touching.
And the cub is
kind of like Pragmata, like at the end where you're just like, damn, man. Like it just it hit me.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's awesome. I actually want to play this now. And the cub is a completely different game play.
Yes, it is like a side-scrolling platformer adventure game. I played about an hour so far, and it's kind of cool. Like it is a totally different game, but there's little slivers of elements of this, not in a golf sort of way, but in a puzzle sort of way. So like there's creatures and stuff. Like he gets deeper into like the woods and areas of Earth that your character doesn't really go to, where there's like creatures and things that'll still kill him. And like you'll be running across and like this creature's at the end, and if you don't hit this jump at the right time, you'll run into the creature and die, and then it instantly starts back. So you have to kind of puzzle your way through these like platforming sections. Like I said, very, very early on, but I can kind of see the direction that they're going with the cub, and it's interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I mean, it's just a testament to indie creativity that they can make a golf game and then make something completely different. And it's just
1,000%.
Awesome. Just awesome. I mean, you wouldn't be able to pull it
off. The golf is cool, but like when I think back to this, I don't really think too much of that. It's the story that they're telling.
Yeah. What a cool fucking thing.
Very cool.
Indie games, man. They're the tits magits.
They're cool. Yep.
Okay, man. I think that's a fucking show. This is going to be a 3-hour-long show. Here, I will say, I think I'm coming out of the second segment feeling jumbled, but I think it'll get better when there's just like we mentioned, it's so like this was so fucking like news heavy this week.
It was
like
packed.
Not even news. Like I don't really care to cover like the news anymore, but this is just like so many fucking announcements just happened right before right before. Like this is probably the most content we've had to talk about since we started the show, right? So I want the segment to be more like the year one Switch 2 breakdown and like maybe more conversation about just random things that we can riff off of each other on. But I mean, fuck, we both watched different shows. It was just, it is what it is. Hopefully it was enjoyable though. And I don't know, maybe I'm just in a weird mood. It's fucking raining. So maybe I'm just a sad boy.
Yeah. Right. Oh, it's pouring right now.
Yeah, dude, it's coming down out there.
Damn.
Good day for me to go to First Turn and play some more pinball.
There you
go. That was the one thing. I was watching the Wolverine trailer, and then I was like, "Who are these people?" And then I looked at it, and then it said it was Sabretooth, and I was like, "Oh, I know Sabretooth."
Sabretooth was in it. Jean Grey was in it. I liked it. Like
Mystique was in it for a squeak of a time. I don't know who any of those people are, but I was like, "Oh, I know that from the Deadpool pinball table."
Yes.
It's like I don't know if anything else.
It all comes back to pinball.
Dude, I fucking got a problem still.
That's awesome.
Yeah. God damn it, dude. I love pinball. Fucking cool. All right, we're doing it again. Anyways,
let's get out of here.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back next week for episode 20. Big number 20.
Yeah, baby.
We'll probably be cooking again in episode 20, dude. I think, you know what?
We can only hope.
I'm going to review Cooking Sim for next week.
There you go.
Cooking simulator. Actually, you
Bring
know
it
what?
back.
My shit ass PC probably couldn't even run it.
Oh God.
I'll save that. I'll save the we'll do a special cooking only show for episode 100 in 2 years.
All the cooking games that we can think of.
Yeah.
I'll bring in some Overcooked and
Hey, there we go. All right,
There
we're
you
getting
go.
out of here. Thanks
All
so
right,
much for
get
watching,
outta here.
guys. Appreciate you. Jason, you have any closing words?
Nope. Video games are cool.
Video games are cool. I'm gonna go play some First Light finally.
There you go.
All right, see you guys later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.